Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream, where we have a whole stack of news, and like most of it's Star Wars because Star Wars Celebration was popping. We got a lot of cool stuff to cover this week, and like last week, we're going to try to keep things on pace. So some of these news topics will be just kind of like short discussions, and others we have a little bit more discussion on. But as usual, I am joined by my wonderful co-host. We got Ryan in one corner.
It's allergy season. Everyone's favorite season.
Yeah, it snowed 2 days ago, and now it's 70 degrees out. So I'm
It doesn't
having fun.
explain why. It doesn't explain why sounds like a frog.
Yes, and then in the other corner we have Jerry Fighter Cows. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm wired. I
Yeah,
hope
Are
I
you
get to
ready?
go to sleep today.
Are you ready for the City of the Wolves, Jerry?
Maybe not.
I think we decided.
We discussed, yeah.
Yeah, we discussed it last week. I think what was it? We both agreed that we're just gonna save our money for Capcom Fighting Collection 2,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah,
buy
because
City of Wolves later.
Yeah.
honestly, because I really like what I see in the game, but like that's one of those I don't need to get it right away scenario. It helps that the DLC is free. It comes with
Yeah,
the game
exactly.
already scenario. Because I did see the story stuff, like the story, and I actually really like the story of what they I seen of City of the Wolves. Really great character progression for Rock, essentially.
Plus, if you don't know, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 has two games that are like near and dear to my heart, like super near and dear to my heart. So
yeah, SNK Aka versus SNK2, and what's the other one?
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Yeah.
I had a story about it.
We need to stream it when Fighting Collection 2 comes out.
Yeah, I won't be in town like the day it comes out, but I can also stream it like with you guys later.
Long story short, if you don't know why Power Stone means a lot, it's because I had a cancer scare when I was a kid, and that game was what I played like during all that crisis.
Mm-hmm.
There's the anime, the Power Stone anime.
I never got to see it. I know it exists. I've seen bits of it.
Somebody in the chat mentioned the tiny friends that have been added to the back.
Oh no, more invaded.
More invaded. They're tiny One Piece plushes that were at round one, and me and a friend were there, and we spent probably technically too much money, but we spent a bunch of time pulling these out of the machines. So I have the whole set because here's Nami and Zoro. And there's also Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji. They didn't have the other five. It was just the first five crew members.
Another no Robin allowed scenario.
No Robin allowed. So anyways, that's who they are.
I'm not sure who looks more funnier, the Nami with how they did her bikini in their tube body, or Zoro's 5-head. You could play tic-tac-toe on it.
I know Zoro's 5-head. Luffy's kind of creepy eyes is kind of sending me a little bit. He looks kind of funny. Usopp's downright terrifying. Not exactly sure. And then the hardest one to get was Sanji because he was in a machine with a bunch of Namis, and so none of them wanted to get in the damn claw.
Oh, that's kind of fitting.
Yeah. When we actually got him out of the machine though, I pulled the Nami out of my pocket and I was like, "Come to us, we have one Nami." Also, Sanji does have another eye under his hair, and the other eyebrow is stitched in. You just can't see.
Oh, they don't do the lazy route where they just make him one eye.
Yeah. So there was a ton of half the machines in the place was One Piece stuff, and so it was kind of wild.
One day that bed's gonna be nothing but One Piece plushies and nowhere to sleep on that eventually.
I mean, Universal Fan Fest is in a couple weeks, so. Anyways, I'm gonna try to stack these back because they're just falling over the place because they have no bodies. They look like board game pieces. Or those little keychains that what's his name? Piedmon. No, Puppetmon.
Yep.
Is it Puppetmon? Whoever the keychains from Digimon. That's where my brain was going.
Tomoke, member for 17 months. Happy 71st birthday to Joji Inaka today. By the way, some of the legendary anime rules as well as Tokusatsu. It's Mr. Kirei from Fate Stay Night's birthday.
I think this,
and he's also Alucard in Helsing.
Oh yeah. The Seiyu corner post was fun because usually there's one Toku roll in the corner, but his is the entire bottom row.
also Soul Bad Guy.
Yeah. Let's see. So they're both louder than me. Am I coming in low? Okay, I can bump me up. Maybe also because my voice is dying.
Sick.
Yeah, you guys talk for a moment. I'm just gonna check audio levels.
Oh yeah, your allergies are probably like throwing you off too. For all
Yeah,
we know.
definitely.
So Cal, explain the lore of Fatal Furies to the chat.
Oh
Okay.
boy. Well, 10 years before the first Fatal Fury, Jeff Bogard was murdered by Geese Howard, and Harry and Andy took that personally, as they should.
Okay. Let me go. Actually,
Okay.
Let me go check. I don't know. How's it sound? How's it sound, guys? Thank you, Benjamin. It was Piedmont. Okay. Let me go. Actually,
Okay.
Let me go. I'm trying to
Oh.
listen to it on my end as well. How's it sound? How's it sound, guys? Thank you, Benjamin. It was
Duroman
okay.
doesn't have a
Let me
human
go.
part.
Actually,
Okay.
Let me go. I'm trying to
Oh.
listen to it on my end as well. How's it sound? How's it sound, guys?
Super
$2.
Chav,
Thank you,
199.
Benjamin. It was. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Duroman
Okay.
doesn't have a
Let me
human
go.
part.
Actually,
I
let me
see
go.
what you did there.
Okay, I think it sounds good. Chat can keep me posted as we go. Speaking of things from last week, so on the channel last week, 2 videos that it's very interesting. There's 2 videos that the performance of these videos has kind of I've decided kind of like I'm like trying to figure out where to pivot the the channel as to like what's the like successful stuff on the channel, like what to do more of. I think this is the great dichotomy here. This action figure DLC video did pretty solid. Really did have fun making that.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray head video though, like blew it out of the water.
I mean, look, you have 2 skeletons in the thumbnail. It helps.
It does. So I kind of was looking at this, but I've been kind of looking at like the stats overall and noticing that like the videos about like Blu-rays and comics are sort of like doing better than the videos just about toys. So I'm still gonna do toy videos, but like I'm gonna kind of try to do more Blu-ray videos.
The toys do well in shorts, right?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure, right?
that was gonna be that was the other point. Sorry, I'm still like kind of like sick in the head with this cold thing, allergies. If you look at my last 3 shorts, all about toys, they all did really good. And that Daredevil short, that was a clip from the Daredevil video, did like 3 times the views of the actual video. So I think in a lot of ways, the shorts are going to be kind of where you see more like toy videos, whereas like the full length videos are going to be more like Blu-rays and comics, but still some toys because like you can't deny like the fact that that Digimon video for Ultraman did well. And then there's like if you go back a little bit further, like the Sonic Jax video did well. The Sentai videos always do well. So just kind of like looking at just kind of how the content shift is going to be. It's going to be more like Blu-rays, comics in the long form, and then toys in the short form with a little bit of overlap back and forth. But that's kind of like where the pillars of the channel is going to be. And I can work with that. So just want to let you guys know I've been my analytics has gotten me to go into that sort of vibe of like, just more toys in shorts, more Blu-rays in videos. So
speaking of toys, speaking of Spider-Man, did you get your Max Spider-Man?
I haven't yet. It's sitting in my pile of loot. I'm waiting on a Funko Pop, and then I'll ship my pile of loot.
Yeah, no, the Max Spidey, I got last weekend. It's such a great figure. It's the most fun I've been. Him and he also got the comic Miles. They're like some of the most fun legends I ever like posed. Like actually, not just them, but the Rom. Because I got Rom also. He's surprisingly really fun to pose. I was not expecting it. It's such a he has a really great torso articulation.
I'm looking forward to it. My ROM shipped today, so it should be here in a couple days. Yeah. Oh, the person said, I think the Daredevil video did not do well is not sending out the notification for it. And that's always the uphill battle I have to deal with is will YouTube actually inform people?
If you want to get notifications about Sound Super Video, go join our Discord.
Yes, Discord. We manually push out notifications on the videos on Discord. But yeah, I think I'm going to ship my pile of loot soon because I could use some of that stuff for videos for while I'm gone on my trip next month. So I might actually do that today. I might just be like, find Shanks and pop Beppo. You guys have to wait.
I do. Little Rom, he just has mitt hands.
Yes, I love that they actually kept the mitt hands because when they first showed the prototype, he had normal hands, and I was like, no.
No, you know what's funny? One is he comes with a fist hand. It has fingers, so that clearly tells that the reuse from Marvel Legend figures and everything like that. But it's like his grabbing his like hand, his holding hands, and his one splayed out hand. It's the mitts and such like that.
The person says I have all notifications turned on. I guess I'll have to join the Discord. Yeah, you could just even if you just want to join the Discord as just like a notification system.
YouTube notification is busted.
Because I basically we only post like at everyone posts for like videos going up, for live streams we're doing like when we go live.
Or
and, like,
announcements for the server.
Yeah, or announcements for the server, or like Hero Club does a new interview or something. We'll push that out. We don't like spam the notifications, so you don't have to worry about that.
And Calsa streams.
Yeah, and for Calsa streams, yeah. So like basically, if one of us is streaming or like putting something up, like you're not gonna get like 1,000 notifications a day. We post like twice a day at most on the notification channel. So
yeah, usually.
Yeah,
and we make sure that everyone's only for us, because so just in case a bot does raid our server and like spam everyone, every single channel, I have to deal with that with certain servers I'm in.
Exactly. All right. So on that note, let's give a rundown of everybody in our text chat today. While I get prepped on the next part of the show.
All right, welcome. Beast Slayer 14, Spyro's Pride, Zeltrax, Master Ben, Da Person, Spyro's Pride, Psychoos, Terrain Dondi, Mateki T, LPH, Toma, Spinash, Swift the Crow, Kaiju 1954, Blade Raider, Jamie's World, Hellfire, Bryce Andrew Music, Benjamin Wiseman.
LPH is here.
Yeah, LPH. I think I said his name already.
Yeah.
Mr. Elverse. And that should be everybody.
Yep. And please hit the like button if you're able to do stuff. If you're able to hit the like button, that sounds silly. You can hit the like button. Please hit the like button. It would greatly help out the stream.
Oh, let's see how many times Soundout gets led into tangents on this topic.
Gonna try not to, because but it's easy. My brain is mush right now. All right, so let's get to the first topic in the PSA section. People wanted to know my thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. I haven't really talked about it too much since the premiere. I thought let's rank it on the tier list and just kind of give like general thoughts on it. First of all, we didn't rank Captain America: Brave New World, and I'm just gonna stick it in A because I really liked it. I haven't watched it again, though. It may change in a rewatch, but I think
that movie still gets hated too much on.
Yeah.
I feel
it was definitely one of those. I walked out of the theater, I was like, that was pretty good, all things considered. Yeah. And then I go online and it's like, why are people so mean?
Yeah, it's it's one of those. I think this is for me. It's one of those case scenario where what were like people who wanted to be like a more like political you're not gonna get that film from a movie from Disney.
I was like, it was the wrong. You're looking in the wrong park for that kind of tree.
It's a mainstream movie from Disney. Like
exactly,
you're not gonna get Sally any deep political talk in a film like that.
And when it happens, it's because it slipped past the Disney execs. Looking at you, Black Panther, our king. Anyways, adding to this though, Daredevil Born Again. Speaking of Frankenstein projects that went through a lot of revisions, Daredevil Born Again is going in B because I really liked it. I really was enjoying it, watching it week to week, but if I'm going to talk about it in like the broad sense, like you can tell which stuff was from before they retooled the show, and then you can also tell which stuff came after, and overall, I think they pulled it off in a way that like most of the Frankenstein like MCU projects haven't been able to, and I think Beast Slayer said solid 7 out of 10. I'd say it's about a 6 or 7 for me as well. I really, really liked a lot of it. There was some of it where I was like, this is kind of just like, what are we doing here? And it's sort of all tied up. I think if they can continue the momentum from episodes 8 and 9 into season 2, it's going to be amazing. But I did think that it did suffer from the retooling of the show. But I still really liked it. It's just not like, I can't rank it super high because it's all kind of a little bit all over the place. But I'd say it's pretty solid overall. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spin Dash, you were spoiled on that moment. Yeah, that moment was all over Twitter to the point where I had to turn off Twitter.
You want me to turn off Twitter in general?
Yes. No, but it was like I had to like stop looking at it. But the thing is that it's funny because Blade Runner brings a good point. Born Again is the opposite of Brave New World, and that Born Again is very relevant to the current real world events. Yeah, it's kind of insane because they shot it mostly in 2023, and yet it's like insanely relevant to right now, which is still good. Yes, I still use Twitter. I just don't post on it. The reason why is because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't just come across on Blue Sky or other social media platforms, and
Yeah.
and I'm in an information job basically here. So like, especially when we start talking about Star Wars stuff later, like a lot of it wasn't in the official articles, and it's just from like tweets from people that were there or like small video clips.
I kind of hate when like accounts discussion films doesn't post the same thing on both platforms. It's just like
Yes,
there'll be tweets that you can only see on Twitter that's not on Blue Sky because like someone
exactly.
like running account they were posting there's like scenario.
And so I like using Blue Sky more, but I still have to use Twitter to keep up with stuff. And so but that's also the case. I still have Instagram for that same reason. I just don't post on them. I don't give those platforms like content from me, but I have to use them to keep up with other things that's like relevant to what I cover and stuff. So
Hmm.
that's how that works.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, you mentioned Black
The
Panther.
person is like, you put Brave New World, and hey, what is this list? It's my list. Like I said, I haven't watched Brave New World a second time, so it could change. Like if I'd ranked Thor: Love and Thunder from when I watched it the first time, it would have been like super high, and then now it's like in F because I don't like it anymore. But
I
I
don't think
thought Brave
super
New World
high.
was perfectly
Uh,
fine. You know,
I
at
don't think I
worst
will
it'll go
rank.
down to a B if I rewatch it. But yeah,
I don't think I'll rank Love and Thunder that high. I think before I rewatched the film, I think I would put it at least C before.
I think I would have had it in like B. I think because I had a good time watching it. I had a good theater experience, and that I think like colored my opinion of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways,
Speaking
let's
actually,
yeah.
because you mentioned Black Panther, didn't Ryan Coogler release a new film recently?
He
I
did.
heard.
I did not get a chance to go see it.
Was it The Stinger? Was it called The
Sinners.
Stinger?
It's called Sinners. It's
Sinners.
original. It was original. X-Men '97 is not on this because it's not an MCU project.
Not MCU.
Yeah.
As much as
Sinners.
Marvel wants to make you think it is.
Yeah. Sinners. I thought about going to see it. I didn't end up going to see it. I now kind of regret I didn't go see it because now I've heard a lot
I
of
heard
great
it's really
things
good.
about it. So now I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll go see it this week, and maybe I'll just like take a solo trip to the theater to see it.
Well,
Yeah.
as you said, you want to watch more non-pop culture movies. So,
Exactly. Which is why for Easter I watched the most relevant movie possible for Easter yesterday. It was really fun. It was Tron Legacy. Because that's a movie about a person who creates an entire world and essentially exists as God, but the whole story is about his son.
yeah.
So anyways,
Because I watch or because it was Superman Day last week also, I watch all the Christopher Reeve movies, and I think one of I do say because before I only watched the first film before. I would say I think the first one's the best.
oh
I
totally.
watched two. I watched two. I watched the theatrical cut of two, and I only got. It's not bad, but like I think that film meanders a lot. A lot. I wasn't a fan of a lot of decisions they made in that film. Like I'm not. I don't like how Clark does. I'm amazing. I'm giving up my power for you, Lois, because
Yep.
I love you. That feels so like out of character for him. It's like I know he loves Lois so much, but like
It comes out of nowhere too.
yeah, and like especially the diner scene, I kind of hate it because like I get it, Clark's not super strong, but like
Yeah.
he's not like that wimpy scenario like that. And like the Zod stuff, like Zod crew are fun, but like most of the film is just them dicking around the Earth and destroying stuff.
And also because of all the reshoots, you can kind of tell when they were supposed to be more like intimidating, and then also when they were like Silver Age-ified in the second, like in the reshoots.
Yeah. I'm not because I haven't watched the Richard Donner cut, but like I'm not sure if that's gonna be automatically better.
I don't know. I think it's. I find the Richard Donner cut to be a little better, but I don't find it to be like significantly better.
From what I hear is Richard Donner cut extensive scenes, but the problem is it's one of those like kind of it's one of those like why do you like I understand why it's a director cut, so I understand why you didn't cut the scene, but it's like it's one of those things cut for a reason because it'll last too long scenario. Like that.
And I think the biggest difference is that they had just different takes, like because like the whole weird thing about the second movie is they didn't get Marlon Brando back, and it was because
I was using Clark's mom.
Using like Clark's mom instead, and then so it was like Brando was in the original Richard Donner cut though, so it's like there's like differences like that.
And yet they still use Crichton.
Yep, because you want to give Marlon Brando a note on how to pronounce a word. I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have walked
No,
off that set. You tell him he was pronouncing Krypton wrong, and say if you went up and told him Krypton is the wrong way to say it, he would have walked off that set, and there went your star power.
because the Fire because Superman 3, they go back to saying Krypton, but
Yes.
then next movie they go to back to Krypton.
Yep. It's also fun because
God,
4
Superman-
was made by Canon Films instead of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, God,
That
Superman-
explains a lot.
Yeah, Superman 3 is a bore. It's such a that is the ultimate meander movie of
Yep.
all.
I'd rather
Like-
watch 3 than a couple other movies, but it is like very weak. Yeah.
Like
I'd
I
rather
think the
watch
problem with
4
3
because at least it's stupid.
Oh, really?
Four is so like,
3 has Richard Pryor.
It
I
does,
guess I'm
yeah.
alone on that. But
and Lenny, Lex's nephew.
And four
No,
is like
dude.
it's like so bad you can kind of have fun with it, but 3 just kind
No,
of
yeah.
drags.
Yeah, no, because when me
Yeah.
and my friend were watching, we were just laughing throughout the whole film because how stupid it is. Especially
Also,
at the
every
end,
time I see Richard Pryor in Superman 3, because I think it was around the same time, I just see the Wiz instead. It takes me out.
I also like Discount Brainiac in 3.
Oh, Discount Brainiac is kind of fun.
I mean, like, I think the problem with Superman 3 is like I think like the not Brainiac and the Evil Superman are good ideas for their own films, not together because it just bloats the film.
Yeah.
And such as that. Superman 4, like I was laughing at the end where Nuclear Man just steals the main girl in the movie and she just breathes in space.
Yes. You should watch the Supergirl movie sometime, because my favorite part of that movie
Yeah.
is the fact the villains are like 2 lesbians that live in an old dark ride.
Yeah.
That movie is something.
Yep. All right. Speaking of something, this Transformers comic Kickstarter is now $2.8 million after
God.
1 week. 1 week or 2 weeks? Has it been 2 weeks now?
So it's getting made then.
Oh, it's definitely getting made. The next stretch goal is going to be a special reprinting of issue 5. That's the famous cover of the Transformers Are All Dead with Shockwave. The reason why they chose issue 5 is because originally they had originally it was going to be a 4-issue miniseries for Transformers, but then it sold well enough, so they changed the ending to 4 to be a cliffhanger to lead into issue 5, which also kind of led to this wonderful like thing on issue 80, the final US issue, which was number 80 in a 4-issue limited series.
I love that.
It's
I
so
love that
great.
much.
If they're going to reprint a second comic, because they did this for G.I. Joe, they did 2 like standalone comic reprints. I would love to see 80 reprinted just because of that tagline. But yeah, so that's going to be the next stretch goal at $3 million, which it seemingly will get there. Yes, Masterman, it will have Spider-Man and all the other Marvel characters.
That's nice.
In terms of stretch goals, they have added a few since we talked last. I think last time we talked, I don't know if they got into the enamel pins yet, but we got through the enamel pins, and they added...
They were there. They were there.
They were there. They've added a challenge coin with Autobot on one side, Decepticon on another. Challenge coins is an old military tradition, which dates back a long time. But basically, when a decision would have to be made around, members of the military or like similar ranks, challenges would be made to be like, "Oh, are you carrying your coin? And what's on your coin? Is it better than the coin I have?" And like, so it's kind of like goes back into one of those old traditions, which kind of makes me wonder why G.I. Joe didn't have one.
Yeah, you're in the military series. So
Yeah.
they have that.
But they are doing one for Transformers. But it's kind of neat, and it's kind of fun because like the whole thing. Like I was asking my dad about this just earlier today, so I could come into the stream with knowledge. He was like, yeah, sometimes it would be like, oh, who's buying drinks tonight, and it would be like whoever had their coin was the one that would decide who was buying drinks. And then he had like one that was like all about like, because he was like he did a lot of work with the paperwork stuff, so he had like a coin that was specifically like, yeah, I get the say in this because I get to sign if you get paid later. So it's kind of fun stuff like that. So anyways, it's kind of fun. We're getting one of those included with all the physical pledges, and then then the Transformers one. So we'll see how it gets. We'll see next week where this is at, because it's just been climbing. I think they finished the voting for the cards as well. I don't remember if they put them into the page. Yeah, they didn't actually put the announcements here. Let me go check the updates page real quick. Because we are getting 3 more tech spec cards for each thing. Or was it? Results are in. Okay, so the extra Autobot cards are going to be Hot Rod, Blaster, and Fortress Maximus. And the Decepticon ones will be Blitzwing, Galvatron, and Astro Train. So, that's pretty cool. As a reminder, Thunderwing wasn't an option on the poll, which was dumb. Yeah, and I think they also showed they finally did show the covers to the All Are One edition. So Volume 1, Autobot will be Optimus, and then Jazz, and then Bumblebee and Grimlock. And then the Decepticon ones will be Megatron, Soundwave with lips, Shockwave, and Starscream.
I love it. I love that specifically. It's Marvel Soundwave when he has lips.
When he has lips, yep. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That pretty much wraps up the PSA section. So let's get on to Blu-rays and comics. I know somebody asked if I was going to go to the Revenge of the Sith re-release this weekend, and the answer is yes, because I do like going to see the best prequel Star Wars movie. I haven't actually seen it.
I was just going to say that's my favorite one out of the prequels.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, that's the only one I own physically. I don't own the other two.
It's the only one I bought on 4K.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because is it one of those? Because I remember you said it before. Because it was made in 4K practically.
Yeah, it was basically made in 4K back in 2005, so they didn't have to do any weird upscaling. Like they just put it out in 4K. It's beautiful. Yes, Hellfire it is this weekend, and it's a wide release. Like you should be able to see it at pretty much every theater. But I think it's only this week, like this weekend into the next week. But like after that, I think it's out. They're usually doing it. They usually re-release the movies for May the 4th, but because Thunderbolts is coming out the weekend of May the 4th, they're just doing it the weekend earlier.
Disney game. Oh man, we can't have our own movie competing with our other movie.
Yeah, it's bad for we'll talk about competing movies in a little bit. George Lucas's whole family is in Episode 3, Muteki, including future Clone Wars episode writer Katie Lucas.
Wasn't there a figure set of the Lucas?
Yeah, there was.
On that?
Yeah, they actually did it. But yeah, that movie's out again this weekend. I'm excited to go see it again. I think I haven't seen it in theaters since it traumatized me as a 10-year-old.
I honestly might. I think because I never saw any of the Star Wars movies, the prequel movies in theaters because I was a kid and such like that when growing up. I always saw them in DVD.
Yeah.
Or in Episode 3 case, Lego Star Wars 1.
Yeah. I went and saw Phantom Menace in theaters last year, and it actually made me appreciate the movie better. Because it was like the movie's still like
what's going on? What's going on in the world?
Yes, it did. It did. Brief me up on tariffs and trade wars. But the thing about the movie that like what it was is that like story wise, I still feel about the same about it. Where it's like it's a little uneven, but visually that movie's a lot more impressive. But when you have it like on a big ass screen, you're like, oh, they put a lot of detail work into this. It just kind of like I appreciate it on that fact.
You remember when they were trying to release the films back in the day with 3D, like Phantom Menace in 3D,
and then they were going to do all the movies, and then
but then they didn't do it well.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Yeah, that's true, Bastard Man. They did not put out Attack of the Clones for an anniversary. But maybe they will. Let's see. Maybe they will in 2027 for the 25th of it.
Oh God.
I don't know. All right, let's get to the Blu-ray news. There's one piece of Blu-ray news.
I just remember the Phantom Menace 3D stuff because that's Hasbro used to do another marketing.
Yep.
Stuff like, oh, new Phantom Menace back in theaters, quick, release all the Phantom Menace merch again, pretty much.
It was also kind of a nice way to get new figures like the Pod Racers. That was pretty cool. Anyways, Blu-ray news. Ultraman USA, also known as Ultraman The Adventure Begins, is coming to Blu-ray. We did have this confirmed last year. They told us it was happening. We have a date now of July 1st, 2025. It's up for pre-order right now on deep discount. Amazon has a page for it, but not live on pre-orders yet. And we did hear, it does say original language Japanese, subtitles English. We were supposed to be getting a new dub, which was aired at a convention. And they said they were working to get the original dub. So I imagine the new dub for sure will be on here, but I don't know about the original dub.
Yeah, because even the listening to the same dub, I think Blazard was enlisted with the dub or something like that.
And these are always preliminary listings too, so
we'll see. Like this cover is not final at all, for example.
Yeah. So we'll see when it comes out, may get pushed. Currently it's set for July 1st, which is, we just got Zet. I just got mine in the mail. I got Zet today, so that's fun. That'll be Wednesday's video, for everyone wondering. Zet came out today, or tomorrow, so this month. Then in May we get Trigger, in June we get Decker, in July we get USA. So if they keep to the schedule, we should be getting a new Ultraman every month for the summer, which will be fun. So we'll just see. But that's pretty much it for the Blu-ray news. All right, comic book news. In the world of backpedaling...
I wonder what's
Oh.
the current Marvel Rivals season theme.
Marvel Rivals season is about the Hellfire Gala in Krakoa. People now care about Krakoa X-Men. Too bad Marvel killed off Krakoa a year ago. Guess what? We're doing a Hellfire Gala one-shot regardless.
That is funny.
I laughed so hard when I saw this get announced. I was like, the backpedal is insane. And the way that like Tom Brevoort tries to spin it in this article, like, we've been building up to this for an entire year. I'm like, no, you haven't. Half your books don't even mention that Krakoa happened.
You know what's funny? You know what's would be funny if, like, we have movie synergy with comic, but what if they do rival synergy? It's like, because how well Rivals is doing. It's like, crap, Rivals doing this for this season. We need to do this for our comics right now.
And fun story about that, because the Marvel Swimsuit Special returns as the Marvel Swimsuit Special Friends, Foes, and Rivals, which now comes with the advertisement that looks in this issue will be costumes for Marvel Rivals.
Look, you see how much people simp for Emma Frost
Yes.
now?
Yes, it's working. So it's funny because, like, they're basically going to reveal swimsuit costumes for the characters in the game through the Marvel Swimsuit Special comic.
Oh man, they're gonna fund the whole entire year with these reveals. I feel like.
Oh, totally. Also, what's really funny is that because the original Marvel Swimsuit Special was just pinups. There was no story. They had like little blurbs, like little text blurbs. They made a deal in this article, like, there's going to be a story to connect everything. I'm like, nobody cares if there's a story.
Exactly.
We're not buying it for the story.
I mean,
I read them for the articles. That old excuse.
Yeah. No, I mean, didn't the first couple ones have some like gaggy? Like, was it like
they have gaggy. They had some gaggy ones. Like, there's one that's like Ghost Rider. There's Ghost Rider at a nude beach, and it's just a skeleton on fire.
I think that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, they're so good. And it's so fun because Epic Collections have been collecting the swimsuit special pinups, and what they've been doing is they're just throwing them into the back, like the extra section on books. They're like, oh hey, here's like the Generation X pinup, and it's just thrown in the back. And oh hey, here's the Wolverine one, and it's just thrown in. Like, whatever year the Epic Collection covers the issues, they throw in the swimsuit specials as like bonus pages. So they're getting archived, which is great.
That SpongeBob meme where it's like, he puts out one sign, only a few people come, puts out another sign, a shit ton of people come.
Yep.
You know that meme?
Yep.
I imagine it's like this, like Marvel swimsuit, only people. Marvel Rival swimsuit.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in.
Yeah, no, it's real fun. Also, welcome Infinity War Torn.
Welcome, Alex.
And Alex, thank you. So the fun part here too is I think that it's the thing I noticed about this cover that I think is kind of great is we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 guys on this cover and then 5 women. So we've got kind of an unequal balance in a lot of ways. But then the variant covers, like, here's a Mark Brooks pinup that he already had that they've just now said, hey, can we make this a cover? We'll pay you for it. Because Mark Brooks does a lot of art for Marvel, but he put that out years ago. He's like, this is a cover now. And so it's like, but this one's all women, but it's great. And then we got Russell Dodderman did this Jean and Scott one where Jean looks tiny and Scott looks gigantic.
With hairy ass chest.
Yes, which is canon to 90s Scott Summers, so, Adding to this, though, the funny part I found about it is that I looked at Scott Summers and thought he was Thor, because that's how Russell Dodderman drew Unworthy Thor when he was running around with no shirt and no hammer. So, it's like the same proportions and everything, so it was just like threw me for a loop. But yeah, no, it's Scott Summers. And then there's this other one that is Peter Parker and Psylocke. And the thing I like about this is that...
Good. Welcome back, 90s P, where he looks like a man slut.
Yeah. What I like about this, though, is that, like, all these covers definitely have, like, the swimsuit sex appeal style to them, but they're all tasteful. They're all tasteful ones. And I think that's, like, kind of... It's an important line to, like, be on. But yeah, we'll see how the contents work. I imagine they're going to put in, like, every possible character into these, just like they did back in the day. Which is to say that there's several characters that end up needing to have to be in here, or else it's a complete flop. She-Hulk's already on 2 covers, so we got that covered. With
that Marvel Rivals tie-in, we kind of
Emma Frost is probably going to be in here, yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, definitely Emma Frost. Who else is like missing? Iceman's probably getting up in here because Iceman
I
always
feel
ends
like
up in these things.
Squirrel Girl probably nowadays.
Probably
now
Squirrel
after
Girl now. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see when it comes out in July. So
do you know in the recent update of Rose they gave Ree more cake?
they gave a lot of people more cake. I think it was most of the guys got a bump.
Yes.
They heard the misogyny critique and they were like, wait a second, no,
Well,
we're gonna bump other things up too.
I mean, here's the thing. They already added that one Venom emote, which I thought was an April Fool's gag, but no, that's real.
Yeah, no, that was real. They put it out on April Fool's Day. Master Ben says, why does DC not do these? They actually kind of do. They do swimsuit variant covers like 3 times a year.
Yeah, they do variant covers. They have a whole like issue.
Yeah, and then they've collected them into like there was like I think what was last year's called? It was one of them, but like basically they do them like the swimsuit cover variants, and then they just like every once in a while they're like here's a one shot. But yeah, no, I remember they just did one for winter. Like they always do winter ones, and they're called the sweater weather variants, and then everybody's wearing bathing suits, but they're in like tropical ice or something. It's weird. Anyways, yeah, DC does this actually surprisingly more than Marvel does. This is kind of like a return for Marvel, whereas like DC has been doing it for a couple of years or so now. Anyways, speaking of comic book Kickstarters that are not skyrocketing to the millions immediately, hey, it just clicked up a little bit. Monarch: The Lost Adventures is a new comic tying into the Monarch Legacy of Monsters TV show. This is a 120-page graphic novel that is an anthology. It's going to have multiple stories featuring the characters from the Monarch TV series. And there's a whole list of creators. This is going to come out at retail if successful. But if you get it through Kickstarter, you can get a $15 digital edition. You can get a hardcover for $40, and it is an oversized hardcover. It's not a standard size, but an oversized. The oversized hardcover is going to be kind of exclusive to the Kickstarter. There also is a variant cover version you can get. There's a couple different variant covers you can choose from. There's also a bundle where you can get the book, a signed book plate with creators on the book, as well as art prints of some of the monsters from the show. It's the original concept art, which I think is pretty cool. Then they have a variant cover version of that. And then there's the version I went for, which is the deluxe slipcase, which has like this really cool monster footprint, like die cut part of it. And then the book slides in with the monster on the inside. And it also comes with 6 enamel pins, plus all of the book plate and the concept art and the PDF and all that. And if you want to get into the comic, you can get drawn in for $1,000. So there's that.
$1,000
now canon to the Monarch universe.
I've never done any of those. You can be drawn in if you give us $1,000 because I never have $1,000 to do something like that. There also you can. There's add-ons like a patch set that are stuff from the Monarch series. There's a keychain that looks like you can murder somebody with it, and a T-shirt as well. Plus a $39 Kong plushie, which looks adorable, but I don't want to spend $39 on it.
A monkey. A monkey.
And if you missed previous Monarch and Monsterverse related Kickstarters, they have a FOMO bundle you can toss in that'll get you Godzilla, X Kong the Hunted, and Monsterverse Declassified, plus like all the bonuses from that. So if you missed that, you have the option to get that as well. And then here's some artwork for it.
Is that monkey still terrorizing, or is he gone from one night when was the Planet Ape short?
That monkey's still around. I'm kind of like worried he's gonna follow me because part of my plan for my trip next month is I want to go seek out the location they filmed Conquest of the Planet of the Apes at.
He raised the channel like Soundout's God. I'll take over the channel. Apes rule.
I found a website though that has like filming locations for Planet of the Apes. I really want to go see like the location where they shot Caesar's big speech from the end of Conquest, where he's like, "And now this is the Planet of the Apes," and like they murder 3 people. It's great. Anyways,
please, if you know what you should do.
Yes.
Bring the monkey plush. Go to that location. Have your family, like, you put the monkey plush on, like, the rock or whatever. Have you on the floor, look dead, and your father and mother or father take a picture. It post it on the Discord. The monkey have rule.
I might be doing something like that.
the skillful Yamcha pose and had the monkey over you like that.
Might as well. Yeah, no, that actually that sounds like fun. I've got some ideas. I want to film some stuff there when I go, because apparently like it is just like the place they shot it is just a mall now, but like all the concrete's still there, so it still looks the same.
This is why
Yeah.
apes will rule the world one day. You
Exactly.
take away our foundation, we'll rule it one day.
Yep. Anyways, so this is going on for 23 more days. So if you want in on it, I recommend backing it now because it hasn't reached its goal yet. It's at 40,000 of its $75,000 goal. Kaiji84 says I actually went to the beach they filmed the original ending of Planet of the Apes at. I kind of want to go to that someday. I'm not going to go to it on this trip because it's a bit of a kind of out of its way sort of thing. But I do want to do that eventually. The Conquest one's like in the heart of like Los Angeles, so it's like I just gotta find the location and go to it. So yeah, but yeah, no, I guess we're not in intro time anymore. I haven't switched back in a minute.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So yeah, no, the Monarch comic looks good though. I think it's. I always back these Legendary Comics like Kickstarter things because I like the way they present the Like I always go for these like slipcases and stuff. I'm like, if I'm backing it, I'm going all the way. But they're really nice. Yes, Bidesh, I did see James Rolfe's video on the Planet of the Apes locations. That was one of the things I did in my research was looking for that. So, all right, you guys ready to talk about some movie trailers? Ish.
Yep.
A trailer and a thing. First up, we got a new trailer for Fantastic Four: First Steps. And a new poster.
Look at that family.
Look at that
it.
family. I gotta tell
kind of dug this trailer.
I dig it too, right?
Yeah.
I think I liked it more than the first trailer by a lot.
I love
Yep.
the first, and I love the first
Yeah.
trailer, but like
Yeah, well, it wasn't even bad, but this one
This
one
was
just so good.
it really did. I think the thing that I find Muteki, look at everybody's uniforms. They don't all match. They each have a unique detail.
That's true.
Reed's details, he doesn't have a white collar.
You're gonna be a great mother. You're gonna be a great father. Nah, not really. You'll be a great uncle.
I gotta tell you,
that was great.
Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, as we know from talking on these streams, was the one casting I wasn't sure about. And then this trailer just made me go, oh wait, maybe he's the best cast of everyone?
Yeah, legit. He's like, that's Johnny, all right.
Like, he went from like, I don't know if he can play Johnny to, oh no, that's Johnny.
The thing about Johnny is I think some people think he's a dude bro, but he's actually not. He's just very jokey. He's just like that. There's a lot more to Johnny than I think people realize.
Exactly.
And I think Joseph could really pull it off.
Yeah, and I think that, this was definitely, like, when it comes to movie trailers, this is how you usually do it. You have, like, a teaser, you have an action trailer, and a story trailer, and then you can kind of alternate which one goes after the teaser. This was definitely our story trailer. I think, like, the next trailer we're going to get is probably going to be all action-based stuff. It's looking great. Like, the way that, like, everything's kind of pulled together, effects wise, like set design wise, costume wise, performance, I think it's really coming together nicely.
I think this is the best looking MCU film in a long while, honestly.
It really is. And I really do like it. I they're definitely going for like the 60s style Fantastic Four, and I feel like they've nailed it in a lot of ways. Like it has that very like Kirby Lee vibe to it. And I also like a lot of the elements they're introducing, like the Silver Surfer and Galactus. The fact that last shot of Galactus walking through the city and it looking like an Ultraman set was just like mind blowing to me.
I love that. I think some people don't realize that Galactus, he's big, but he's not like
he's a shape changer.
Yeah, the shape changer. Yeah. You can do that. Also, I think one for me, I'm super happy that to like even if we don't see Richard or Val, whoever's giving the kid, I'm glad that Reed, not only Sue's pregnant, but we have a Reed and Sue that's already a married couple, because that was my problem. Well, I mean, there's Sue,
it's always this issue we come into is like they start the Fantastic Four and then we like never get to see Reed and Sue have kids because everything dies off before it can happen.
Well, I mean, my Sue is just the biggest problem of the Tim Story films.
Yeah.
In general, and such. I hate how they treat her in those films.
I mean, that was poor Jessica Alba all over. All he did was whitewashing her the whole time.
Yeah, it was really uncomfortable. But like, it's just really nice to see the Reed and Sue, because Reed and Sue is the thing, because that's the thing. It's kind of one of those like Flanderized moments where people like joke that Reed's a bad part to the Sue, but it's only really during the whole Malice arc, right?
Yeah,
that
it's like the Malice arc, pretty much anything John Byrne writes, and then the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, and that's kind of been very flanderized over the years,
Yes.
and like I'm really glad we're finally getting back to no, Reed and Stewart are the most powerful couple in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
thank
think
you.
Marvel Rivals has been doing all the heavy lifting on that too.
And it's just, and essentially because that's the thing about Reed is what I think Pedro Pascal is bringing to the role is Reed is one of those characters that has a lot of doubt because he feel like he's the cause of everything, so he always kind of feel like he's doubting himself. So I really think Pedro Pascal is really giving that side of Reed.
And
really
I think the
well.
reason why he's kind of subdued in the trailer is because I think he is playing Reed like he lights up when he's doing science, but when he's having to do social interaction stuff, he's just kind of distant because that's kind of how Reed is.
Yeah, which
He's
I really
always
like
like
about
in the lab, he's just like all over the place and going nuts. But like in a social setting, he's like, yeah, I'm here.
Reed, Reed, you always can kind of take where Reed has ADHD or something like that, but like he always kind of has like I'm not sure they ever confirmed it, but like I can't blame I won't blame anybody or like
Reed Richards
people.
is probably the most prominent autistic coded character in fiction.
Yeah, like even if
it's
he
not
is
like
not,
confirmed, it's the way they have the way his mannerisms are portrayed and the way that he is as a character. Like getting that read off of it, like getting that read off Reed, is totally valid. Like it feels intentional even sometimes. So
yeah,
yeah.
and which is like I think that's great, and everything's looking great about this trailer. This movie is like
We did get a quote that like Galactus's costume is practical.
Oh, that's great.
So that's pretty cool. They said there was a quote too, like we used miniatures, and I'm like, maybe that was what that shot at the end was actually a miniature set, and that's why it
They are
bounced so well.
riding it.
Yeah. Matt Shackman
I
brings a lot to this as a creative lead. I gotta tell you,
that's
he's
the
super
thing
talented.
is like, I don't, I disagree with a lot of people saying this is just another superhero movie trailer. There's something different about this film.
I think it helps that it is, right?
I think it just helps that it is not in the main MCU Earth. I think it is great that this can just be a Fantastic Four movie. This is not this is a Fantastic Four movie first, MCU movie second scenario, which I think is why this film feels
which is
so
kind of
unique
how
compared to the
Deadpool
rest.
and Wolverine was an X-Men movie first and then an MCU movie second. Look how successful that was.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Flame of Fire. Hi, Santa. Happy Easter. I had a question for you. Have you heard about Mini Force, the Digimon Korean?
I have
Korean
heard of it.
Digimon?
I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
I like the toys.
Kaiju 1984. I like how the thing
Right.
interacts with kids. My favorite moment in the trailer is when the kids are like wanting him to lift a car.
I love that. Also, was that like that Marvel Select thing? The kid.
Yes.
Like,
yes, because that was in one of the posters, and it's like that toy is a brick.
Why does that kid have that thing's gonna injure her if she doesn't play if she doesn't hold it right? Hey, if she ever needs to defend herself, chuck that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really happy. I'm really excited for this movie. Like, I'm very excited for this movie. Cass, you feeling the same thing? You feeling the hype?
I'm actually more excited now.
Yeah.
I liked the first trailer, but I wasn't sure. But this one, I'm sold now.
Mm-hmm. I think this was really solid. I think they will do one more trailer for it, but I think that they don't show too much else more. But like maybe this next trailer is more action based, and it's like here's Reed stretching, here's Sue crushing somebody's lungs with a force field, something cool.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad we saw Reed stretching in this trailer finally.
Yes. I think it's just like a lot of people are like, oh, they're trying to hide it because it looks weird. Like, yeah, no, it's always going to look weird. I think they were just not done. They weren't ready to show it yet. Yeah. So I'm excited. Now, the other movie coming out in July is Superman. And Superman, we're gonna talk about this behind the scenes reel they put out. It's not a trailer, it's a behind the scenes reel. Let's address the first thing is we'll come back to Metamorpho. I need to address two things about this before we get into it. Here he is. All right. So first things first. Superman Day was on Friday, and so they put out a behind the scenes reel. After Fantastic Four put out a trailer, they should have absolutely put out a trailer. I think the behind the scenes reel's nice, but what is this marketing plan anymore? They skipped the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl and didn't show anything. They went to CinemaCon and didn't show anything. They're not going to Comic-Con. And then you don't put out a trailer for Superman Day. You don't put out a poster for Superman Day. You just put out a behind-the-scenes reel. It's very odd, right?
Yeah.
Because when is the next Superman trailer going to come? Is it going to come in front of Thunderbolts now? Like, because that's kind of like the next big movie. You can't wait any longer than that. This movie's out in like 2.5 months. The other issue I have with this behind the scenes reel, and this is no disrespect to James Gunn because I think he's a very talented filmmaker and I appreciate a lot of what he makes. But this behind the scenes reel felt like a hype reel for James Gunn, not Superman. Because they talk about Gunn for the first half of it about like, oh, James Gunn wasn't sure if he was going to do Superman, but now he is, and I'm like, that's great. But the marketing for this movie, and people have been pointing this out online, every time they put out a behind the scenes still, James Gunn is in the center of the frame. Like there was a shot of like Superman and Lex that they put out, and James Gunn's in the center of the screen.
I mean, they're doing varying covers based in the movie. One of it just Soups and Gunn.
Yeah, like, it's Soups and Gunn, right?
And I get it. Gunn is kind of it's like it feels like their Gunn is like a safety net for Warner Bros. They want to, they want to make sure this movie's a seat. So they're like, it's James Gunn. He made those Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad things you like. Please watch our movie. Scenario like that. But like as a Superman fan, I want the Superman part to be the forefront, not the guy directing the film.
Exactly. Because I think that, it does make sense to make it like it's James Gunn's Superman, it's James Gunn's universe. The problem I'm seeing is that I still don't know, like, anything about, like, the story of this movie.
Yeah, at all.
Like,
kind of concerning.
Where's the where's the story of it? We hear about, like, what James Gunn thinks about Superman. We get like 3 sound bites from David Cornsweet, who's playing Superman. And I'm like, I want to hear more from David Cornsweet. I want to hear what the guy playing Superman has to say about Superman. And that's the thing that I find that I like what I'm seeing, but I am frustrated by like the fact that this reel was more about Gunn than it was Superman. So let's get into what we saw, because I think that, that's kind of like the important part here. We saw David Cornsweet in costume as Superman, 45 seconds into a 2.5 minute reel. And that's the last I'll mention of that. I could be on this all day. We got a new shot of Hawk Girl. I still hate her costume. I think I'm supposed to.
It looks nice, but like I wish you see her in. I get the whole purpose of the film is you're doing a terrific thing, but like I kind of want to see Hawk Girl in a Hawk Girl costume first, not in a team outfit. The team outfit does look cool.
The thing I don't like about the team outfit specifically on Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl is the jacket always seems to ride up no matter when they move their arms. It looks like it's always bunching up.
They had them Future Trunks jackets.
Yeah, they got those Future Trunk jackets on top of their like. It's like too much leather in a lot of ways.
Welcome back, X-Box X-Men.
Welcome back, DCCW universe. Like they did a lot of leather jackets on top of leather suits. But I think like production design wise, it looks good.
Metamorpho looks fantastic.
Yeah, we'll get back to Metamorpho because it's actually the thing I want to talk about the most. Lex Luthor looks great. This shot of Lex and Superman together.
I mean, bald man is not hard to do.
You'd think, but I've seen some pretty screwed up looking Lex Luthors.
Yeah, true.
Although he does have an Agent 47 vibe too.
He definitely does. I like this shot of the Daily Planet like through the camera monitor. Just because you kind of see them all together. They look like they're having fun on set. Frank Grillo here playing Rick Flag Sr., which I have to constantly remember is the character from Creature Commandos that looks like a roided James Gunn and not like. He looks completely different for some reason, but it's the same character.
You say Roy James. Oh no, you talk about the animated.
The animated one. The animated one where he's got the gray hair and the beard. Yeah. The gray hair and the gray beard, and he like wears the same T-shirt style that James Gunn does. Very weird. But anyways, this is what the character looks like in everything else.
You see, he just wants to dye his hair to look younger in these films, in these movie versions. I like that. That's my headcanon.
Yep. Also, I did appreciate that, like, Frank Grillo was, like, a James Gunn specific, like, I know you, Frank Grillo, would like to be in my movie, but he was just talking about Superman in this clip, which I was like, good, that's great. There's this mysterious suit of armor, which looks really cool. I don't know context of any of this, but that's pretty neat.
Might be a Lex armor. It might be a Lex armor, honestly. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be a Lexo suit type thing. There's also like practical cape flying is awesome. I like seeing practical capes. CG capes are very handy, but practical capes are also awesome. Let's see.
We come a long way since the Spawn movie when it comes
Yeah.
to CG capes.
No, definitely. This shot of Hot Girl crashing somebody through a window is pretty cool. I have no idea who she's crashing through the window, but it's really neat looking. Yeah, it's kind of interesting too, because we didn't. Oh, here's a shot of Gunn with the lady from the Authority, and then all these like troop guys.
Those are Lex core troops.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there's the LexCorp logo on them. They look cool. I think they look really cool. And that mysterious guy in the black costume, I can't say who that is because I know who it is because something leaked, but that's a thing. But I just think the costume design looks great.
Oh man, I didn't know they're gonna put Mr. Mixiplex in this film.
If only. Then there's like Lex and his Lex guys. Like this looks like an ocean floor situation or like some kind of warehouse. Which is kind of neat. Kind of dig it. Nathan Fillion was there. It was weird. We didn't get any shots of Guy Gardner. We just got shots of Nathan Fillion. And then some more Superman shots. And then we got Eddie Gathagri, but not Mr. Terrific. Like we just saw the actors, but not them in costume. But the big deal here is Metamorpho. So when we saw the first trailer, I think we talked about Metamorpho because they just had a shot of him in the trailer, just his head. And I was like, oh, he must be all CG. That's why they didn't show him yet. But no, he's actually practical.
And damn, he looks great.
He looks great. My only minor complaint is they chickened out and gave him board shorts instead of a Speedo.
Yeah. It's seriously funny when you look at the toy. We gotta go look at the toys.
You look at the toys.
But I actually really love how they did his head because in the comic he has a white head.
Yeah.
I like how it looks like wind, like some kind of like wind energy kind of.
Yeah, it's got kind of like a gassy kind of look, like the gas element to it. Yeah.
Like, I really that's good. That's a good way to translate his design to live action without just being a blank white head.
Definitely.
Such like looking like Data from Star Trek.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he looks great, and it was nice to finally get a shot of him. And then also the Superman robots for the Fortress are also practical, which is really cool.
Which I was surprised about because I thought that would just be CG.
Yeah. So I'm really liking the way it looks. I'm my only concern when it comes to marketing is not like I don't think the movie's going to be bad. I think the movie's going to be good. I think I'm going to enjoy it. The reason I'm nervous about the marketing is because the entirety of the DC franchise exists on this movie doing well. So when the marketing is not really like performing well, it makes me just a little nervous because so much is at stake.
And that's the thing. There's not busy at James Gunn. Like they could do this. If it was like I don't know, like I don't know, like Matt Reeves. It would be the same problem.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter on the who's. It doesn't matter. It's not a James Gunn everything. If they did, let's say the next Batman film comes out and they put Matt Reeves' name all over the marketing, it'll be the same problem.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, because they did this already, and it was a huge backfire and killed a career. Patty Jenkins took entire credit for Wonder Woman 1984, and it seemed like she did the entire thing by herself. So when that movie flopped hard and everyone hated it, guess who got blamed? Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
She took the entire her whole career tanked because of that movie. Because she got rid of people that worked on the first movie and was like, I'm just going to do this all myself. I'm in charge of things, and that's great. But if you don't deliver, guess what? You can't pass the buck around. If you can't deliver something in Hollywood and you took entire credit for it, you have to take entire blame for it. So it's a dangerous game, but we'll see how it all shakes out.
It's very similar to, like, I remember when that Velma show was coming out.
Yes.
Mindy Kaling's name was all written, even though she only really just voice acted it in it. I
think she was a producer as well.
Yeah, producer, but that's it. She wasn't like the main writer,
It's like Kevin Smith took all the blame for Master Universe Revelation. He didn't write one word of that show.
Yeah, it's the classic. People want to have a face to blame.
Yep.
Scenario, sadly.
Advice to anyone working in Hollywood and in the above the line talent pool: never take credit for everything. Always make sure that other people are involved, because if you can take credit for everything, if it fails, you're going to take all the blame too. Like that's the fact of the industry. All right, so continuing the Superman hype, all the toys were allowed to be revealed basically on Superman Day, and so we actually have a little bit more to talk about. DC Multiverse is doing a couple different Supermans. The first one here is a deluxe set with Crypto, as well as alternate faceplates for Superman.
This could be just problem with promo image, but I can't tell the difference between three of them.
Yeah, two of the, like, the one on his face, and then the other. There's like 3 faces that look exactly the same, and then there's the heat vision eyes. No idea what's going on there, but he
Yep.
looks pretty nice. This is the one I
Yeah, the
ordered.
clock
He
cape.
sold out in
Yeah.
like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Clock. He has a wire clock cape. He comes with
Yes.
dog. Look at dog.
The dog has a wired cloth cape, but he's still a static figure.
Oh really?
Yes.
Really? He's going.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great, 'cause
Crypto
even,
does have a cloth cape, but he is a static figure. He sold out super quick though. Like,
I bet.
That's nice to hear, honestly.
it's nice to hear, but it also is starting to become an issue with the DC Multiverse line. Is that pre-orders go up and they're gone within 10 minutes? Like,
And hope and hope
Well-
to God they don't get stolen.
yeah,
An issue with a lot of these things, not just toys. Getting
Yeah,
video
no.
games too.
definitely.
I'm
graphic
I'm gonna have an alarm when to switch for midnight of Thursday to wake up the pre-order Switch 2
Yeah,
because
you're gonna have to be
I
on
know,
that. Like,
like I'm gonna have it like I'm gonna wake up at like 11:45
yeah,
or something like that to make sure I'm on the Walmart page of that of the Mario Kart bundle to make sure I get that such.
yep, no, definitely. All right. So then, also going with this, if you want just a standard Superman, the same exact
Oh,
figure is just going to be sold single.
No, not the exact same. He has a plastic cape. I think he has a plastic cape for this one.
Okay, he has a plastic cape, but otherwise it's the same accessories and the standard face. It would be weird if his face could still come off.
Also, is this their first multiverse stuff with the new DC logo? I just realized that.
Yeah, I think it is the first DC. Yeah, I guess because the DC Studios logo uses the new DC logo.
Well, because that's just the new DC logo in general, but
Yeah.
like the previous multiverse stuff we've been getting recently, so we've been using the old
Old logo,
the
yeah.
old one. Yeah, so I guess this one was, I guess, just how far advanced classical toy production scenario.
Yep. Metamorpho here. His board shorts are the wrong color.
I hope he gets it. I hope he gets a deluxe because this is kind of nothing.
This is nothing. Yeah, I'm just thinking back to the old Mattel like DC Classics Build-A-Figure where he came with like all those effect parts.
Yeah, so like hopefully
yeah.
he gets a deluxe figure because it's just hands and that's it.
Mohammed Faiz Daniel,
nice.
is the Ultraman news the Ultraman USA Blu-ray? Because we did cover that already. But if there's something else, please let me know. He does look nice. I ordered him because I want to make sure to get all the heroes. I'm a little nervous though, because we'll talk about. Actually, let's talk about it once we get to the teases. All right. So there also is a deluxe figure of the kaiju in the movie, which is called Kaiju.
AKA, he's just a giant movie figure because he has shoulders, waist, and head.
He's built like the Kong from the JL vs. Kong pack. Yeah. There also is a good old static statue of Superman.
The plastic case for the base figure, the deluxe one has a wire cape.
Yes, but it is not. Yeah, it's not like a leather style. It's a cloth. Going alongside this, interestingly enough, McFarlane is doing superpowers figures for the movie. So we got Guy Gardner in. This is like our first toy of Guy Gardner for this movie. Looking pretty neat. I wanted to close that, not zoom in. Metamorpho. I think the Metamorpho short color is just what the concept art was.
Wait. We have images for the Spin Master toys? I didn't see those.
Oh yeah, there was one. It's just one toy. It's like Superman and the kaiju, and then you can burst the kaiju's chest off, and then it like leaks ooze.
Yay! Welcome! Yay! Graphic gore action figures! Yay! that sounds kind of amazing.
It looks kind of fun, and also very messy. Here's Mr. Terrific, looking pretty solid. I think the funny part is because of the superpowers mold they're putting the jacket on. His arms look skinny now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you gonna say Mr. Terrific looks terrific, Jerry?
Yep.
Yeah. No, we'll talk about which Mr. Terrific looks terrific. Superman here, of course, gets cloth capes. That's how the superpowers line look. It's really funny because the others look like the movie versions, but this looks like the same Superman sculpt that we normally get for superpowers.
New head sculpt.
Yeah.
New head sculpt.
So the same head sculpt. Yeah, the body's definitely different. And then there's a Fortress of Solitude playset, which is really cool.
I kind of want, because it's actually really cool looking.
Yeah, it actually looks fun. It's like $40. Interestingly enough, there is a Superman robot figure shown, but it's not been solicited yet.
Which really, I don't think we ever got a Fortress playset before. At least not I can think off the top of my head.
We never really get Fortress playsets. Like, we barely get Bat Caves, so we never get Fortress stuff.
Actually, it's kind of funny. We never. This is our first play set for. Yeah, I think this is our first play set for superpowers, and it's the Fortress, not back. You think such how Batman. The classical contra of must do Batman toys. So McFarlane hasn't done a Batcave like for superpowers yet.
Yeah, I was surprised as well. So going alongside this is just wave 1 of the toys that went up for pre-order. There is a
woman.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment as well. So the next things they did tease, these will be going up for pre-order in June. So Superman Robot number 4 is getting a DC Multiverse figure with a cloth cape as well. Number 4, as we saw from like the crypto extended preview from the Minecraft movie thing, this is the one that's going to talk the most. I think number 4 is like the talkative.
Is he?
One.
I mean, I think it would be smart if they just could different chess plays to make them any army build them.
No, each of them is going to be a separate chase variant exclusive to a specific store.
Oh yeah, that's what they're going. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Probably, yeah, that's what I'm going to case.
Here we have Mr. Terrific looking terrific because they actually gave him pinless elbows, so it didn't break up the jacket.
Oh, there we go.
I McFarlane with pinless joints. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think they decided not to do an overlaid leather jacket.
It'll be too bulky.
It would be too bulky, but also I think he would have to be a deluxe figure. So I think this is a standard figure, right? But then again, he has he might be a deluxe because he's got the cutout around his face for the faceplate. So he actually might be a deluxe. But I'm actually really glad to see.
We're in very Mr. Terrific times right now, which I'm happy.
It's great. This is like one of my favorite characters.
He appeared in the issue 2 of Sonic DC.
Yep.
Which I was not expecting.
I know, he just popped up and I was like, there you are. Movie Synergy's giving me all the Mr. Terrific I want. So I'm really, really happy about it. And then the last one we got is Lex, looking really great. Now we do know Lex is going to come as a deluxe figure with a baby kaiju, which is like the kaiju that like shows up later, but it's like the baby form of it.
Surprisingly, this is our second, or technically third, because there's that weird dark side Lex.
Yeah.
But I think our third Lex ever in multiverse. It's kind of shocking.
Yeah, I think it is only like the third Lex, yeah.
Because we get the Power Suit one. Then there was, what was that one? From New 52 with the whole chair one.
Right, the Dark Side War one.
And then this one, it's kind of, because McFarlane actually, even though people joke about how much multiverse is Batman, but there's actually a pretty decent amount of Superman also in multiverse.
But not that many Lexes, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, also nice generic suit body, finally.
Yes. And we can use this for future figures, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see people just picking this up just for that body alone. For like your Bruce Waynes and your Clark Kents and all that stuff. I know I see people use the question for Clark Kent, so like good luck. Well, hey, that's cool, but good luck finding that figure.
Yeah. So we have not seen Guy Gardner. We have not seen Hawk Girl. We have not seen Authority Lady. I don't know if Authority Lady's going to get any toys.
I keep you know what's funny? I keep thinking that's a movie coming out, so I keep thinking that's some like weird nickname you gave her.
Theoretically, it's a movie coming out. I have no idea why anyone would make a movie about the Authority. Like, put him in things, sure, but like making him a standalone movie, like what? It's streaming show, maybe. But yeah, Falcon Tech brings up a good point. Who's going to build a Gun DC McFarlane collection when it's unlikely you'll get any more of that universe? Yeah, I mean, I think they are doing the Supergirl movie, but yeah, after that, it's not going to be.
I mean, that's kind of
it's kind of the problem we're in, right? We're kind of stuck in a weird spot. To be honest,
I mean, that's a kind of one-minded track, because
it's one way. We got to think about this. It's not a one-track mind thing. It's part of the collecting experience, right? If you're doing a collection, are you a figure-by-figure collector or are you a long-term collector? That's like two different mindsets. Of like, is the overall display more important or is the individual figure more important, right?
Well, I guess it's more like, it's one of those things where let's say you're just a fan of Superman and just really like this movie, I think this is fine.
No, this is great.
Scenario, because there's always gonna be those people that's like, I just like Superman and don't give a shit about any other DC movie in the future scenario like that.
But in the long term, it's like if you're gonna buy. If you're gonna buy figures just for a long-term display, probably not the movie to do it with.
Also, that's just like how could they predict the future scenario? Like they were not expecting them to lose quote unquote because we still don't know.
We have no idea what's going on still.
Yeah, so because and such like that. So I really
let's focus on something that's an actual 100% possible concern, which is what if Hawk Girl's a chase figure?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I went looking. I went looking, okay? The two heroes we haven't seen figures of is Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl, right? I went looking. I went through all the listings. There is a listing for Guy Gardner. There is not a listing for Hawk Girl. So either they're not making Hawk Girl, no one's found the listing yet, or she's a chase figure, and that's why there's no listing.
Hey, have they done chase figures for the movie stuff
Yes.
yet?
The
Which one's
Jim Carrey
freaking-
Riddler in the white suit,
Mm.
that's a chase figure.
Yeah. So that's a variant, but still, it could. Yeah,
But with the way
that
McFarlane's
happen.
been doing chase figures lately, it is a possibility.
There's also a case where she won't get one because woman.
Exactly, yeah. And either way, it's bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, her being a platinum is just as bad as just not making her. Because I can never get platinum figures.
Monkey Paul scenario.
Yes. But then there's other confusing things going on with Multiverse because somebody found Cyborg Superman and he's not, like, the comic one, and he's not got the platinum sticker on the box.
Huh? What?
Even
Really?
though they announced him as a platinum. Yes, Scarecrow from Batman Begins is a chase figure, Muteki. I know he's been popping up a lot. Also, the case assortment for Alfred from BVS is listed as being in a case with 3 figures, a bronze 1989 Batman chase, the Riddler from Batman Forever's Final Battle chase, and then Alfred times 3 in a case. And I'm like, what do you mean this is a wave of 3 figures and 2 of them are listed as chase figures? The hell is going on with this line?
Well, is it even chase figures at that point when you're just packed normally? Like
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Like, that doesn't mean anything at this point, right? It's just all very confusing. But I do know that
It kind of feels like a FOMO thing at this point with the sticker because it's one of those like you see that sticker like it's like you remember when Bandai America put that limited edition label on the legacy figures because it was supposed to be they will we will not reprint them but they just keep bringing them no matter what scenario like it feels like that where it's like artificial scarcity scenario where to get more sales because it's like it's the problem like limited run games have if you know their whole controversy stuff like that.
I mean, their whole company is based on that idea.
Yeah, we're like, we only will print this much, and once it's one day sold out, it's gone forever. Even though like secretly we're reprinting these scenario. It's that kind of.
Corey Robinson said the platinum for that Cyborg Superman is his Yellow Lantern suit. It is and it isn't because first of all they didn't change the logo, and second of all it's got a gold label on the box, not a platinum. I don't know what's going on. And McFarlane Toys, I appreciate them, but they need better communication because that Riddler when they showed it at their like McFarlane Toy show thing, they didn't announce he was a chase. And you can't order him, but he's 2 per case in the case with Alfred. That's not a chase figure. That's a normal figure.
It's one of those things where, like, for weirdly how, even though they're definitely the most independent company compared to other ones, they're weirdly weird when it comes to communication. Because sometimes they'll communicate, sometimes they don't. It's weird. I don't know how exactly McFarlane is run compared to.
I wish they just put out a checklist.
Company.
Be like, this is available from this. This is available from this. This is coming out this. Like, I
feel like it in terms of it feels like in terms of like even though like things will change behind the scenes. I feel like those are like stuff like if it's exclusive, if it's a chase, that should be planned from the start.
Yeah,
instead of
and if it's
last minute,
and if it's out in a store, you already know how you're releasing it. If it's people are finding it at a Walmart. You've gone way beyond when you should be communicating things to people.
Especially when you're a collector company.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Because we talk about this at Hasbro, right? Remember when that one Transformers wave last year showed up in stores before they announced it? And it's like, there's literally nothing holding you up. It's already in stores. Like, yeah.
Like it's like semi-related, but like the Jax WonderCon panel that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
People were like complaining that like, they didn't review anything new. We knew half these figures, and like Jax is not like a company revealed stuff from official release. They're just we put it out there, go buy it company. Like
whereas McFarlane does these like live streams and they do the social media posts, but then I still feel like I have no idea what figure comes out when.
They're a collector company,
right.
They're a collector company, So there's a difference.
Ask about Duromon, or
we should get moving on because we have more news to get to. All right. Speaking of communication and execution on pre-orders, Marvel Legends revealed the Punisher from Daredevil: Born Again. Since the episode aired, they're like, "Oh, now we can show it."
Why does he look like a janitor?
That's just what he wore. I don't know.
Yes.
He gives I don't know. He gives me the vibe of like he's got cleaned up the streets, not like,
You're
but
like,
not like.
there you
I
go.
guarantee you,
Clean
he
up.
does the opposite of a janitor in the final episode of Born Again. He makes messes. He doesn't clean them. Yeah. No. Anyways, this looks really, really good. And
Mateki, a janitor, someone who cleans up messes.
yes. He does come with the axe, which is giving me traumatic flashbacks to the episode.
I can't tell just it's the sculpt or does the actor have that big of a nose?
He does. He has that big of a nose and he has that
Okay.
big of a neck. Like,
Okay.
he's built like a tank. Yeah, no, he looks great. He's coming out in December, whereas Daredevil's coming out in November. So I don't think they're in a wave. I think they're just like single figures coming out.
Oh yeah, he comes with like a Spider-Man. Stop in the name of love, man.
He does. I don't really. It's weird because they show another hand. I feel like this hand here looks like not that C circle hand. It looks like a different one. We'll see how it comes out.
It might be. I think it's like angle of the photo. I think it's throwing you off.
That's probably. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah, it looks more relaxed than this does. That's all.
I'm waiting to the point. I'm waiting to the point where we're gonna get a figure where the likeness looks so bad to what it's supposed to look like to the actor that it looks like you stand out.
I mean, that's just gonna get scary. But no, it looks pretty solid.
It's like that one Animorphs figure that looks. It's like that one Animorphs figure that looks more like TG Omega than the actual actor of Animorphs.
Yeah. Spider-Man Prime, Punisher with an axe and a knife. What is going on? Well, if you can stomach heavy violence, watch Daredevil Born Again.
No, well, you see, he just needs a pipe, and then he's Capcom Arcade Punisher. Then
that's true. That's true.
We just need Nick Fury to go alongside him.
All right, Transformers. Quick news. Vortex. We got some behind-the-scenes photos from Mark Clonis, who is one of the designers. A couple things I thought were cool is the fact he can hold his rotor on his arm like a weapon or a shield. Like that's just super awesome. And then the other thing is that he slapped Vortex onto Superion's arm skeleton, so we can actually see how he looks like as an arm for Bruticus.
Oh, so makes you even curious how they're gonna do Onslaught then, because I'm not sure Onslaught will really work with the whole skeletal thing.
I think what's going to happen is Onslaught's going to make the arms, and then the legs are going to be just like Brawl and Swindle, because Brawl's listed as a Voyager, so I think Brawl and Swindle are just going to make the legs, and then Onslaught's just going to be the torso and the arms.
Like they're gonna be at the complete leg instead of like because I think Onslaught will still have like the dies, for example, in the waist, but like I can see that. It's kind of like how Devastator is kind of, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Devastator is. I think it's going to be like similar because I think in the instruction sheet, like Psycho said, because this figure is already out for some reason in Canada.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's already out in Canada.
Oh, god damn it!
We just got Wave 1 like a week and a half ago, and Wave 2 is already out in Canada. But anyways, I think it's good. Yeah, it's going to be like knee down is going to be your Voyager leg, and then the arms are just going to be kind of skeletal. There's some cool design work. All right, we need to move on to the Bandai news because the Bandai news is intense. There's a lot, so let's get to it. The interesting part when it comes to Bandai is that I'm like, oh, they've been quiet 1 week, and then the next week they're like, here's a month's worth of product. I'm like, you guys could space this stuff out. You don't have to do it all in one day.
Right?
Like all this dropped last night, and I was like, why now? Why all on the same day? I know,
because I was watching WrestleMania, and all of a sudden I hear Wheels going, "Hey, they dropped this, and they dropped this." I'm like, "Wait, what? What's going on?"
I know, my wallet. Ugh.
It's just it's Sunday, and they felt like dropping it. I don't know.
Like, let me catch up with other figure arts I want to get also. Like, I soon to get the Sakamoto Days figure arts and Kafka and Okura. It's like, God damn it!
I'm still waiting for the U.S. pre-orders for Kafka and Bonnie. Something went wrong there.
Those things came. Yeah, the Sakamoto Day ones, Okura. Yeah, they didn't come up yet.
Been weeks, but I think it's tariff related.
Yeah, I think it's here. Actually, speaking of that, I got an email saying my Bakugo figure art is getting processed, but I did get a tariff thing because that figure's made in China, but I didn't get any email saying, "Oh, tariff. Here's a tariff warning." Yeah, I just got processing soon scenario with that one.
We'll see how it happens when it processes through the port or the customs.
Unless you're gonna give me another email saying, hey, tariff thing later scenario.
we're still kind of in a wait and see. All right, Bandai and Figuarts. So our annual Red Ranger for Sentai and nobody else from the team because they hate us. Goju Wolf has been announced.
That isn't Kizuna Red. Who is this?
Who is this? It's looking. I'm having difficulty here because I've been keeping up with the Red Rangers, and I think this looks stellar. I think the Goju Wolf here looks really fantastic. I think they nailed the proportions. I think they nailed the details. They painted the rings.
Does the suit have that texture?
Yes, the suit does have that texture. Yeah.
Okay, I just never noticed that. Huh.
Yeah, you just don't notice as much in the show, but his articulation range is nuts. Like he can do all of his crazy poses.
It's weird. Is that a actual like Tokusatsu figure that actually has a good ab crunch?
Yeah,
that's my problem with most of them is they don't crunch at all.
No, legit, and it even comes with a bonus Sentai ring as the first print bonus, which means it's like the second time a deluxe toy has been included.
What was the first time?
Decker came with an exclusive card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I mean that's even more wild because that's a cardboard thing.
That's an actual plastic ring. He looks terrific. Zeltrex mentioned no Wolf to caliber 50. Yeah, I thought that was odd, but it didn't surprise me either because freaking Kuwagata Oger didn't come with the King's weapon.
I feel like that's the red thing that forms his more unique mecha, right? That always kind of felt like really last minute to me.
I thought it was weirdly last minute, but then watching the show, they built up to it. Like there's a big story reason he gets it later than the others. Spindash said, "Where's Go on Red?" Yeah, where's Go on Red? Spider Kuminos, Boon Violet, like all those that they showed. Where the heck are those? But no, we're jumping to Goju Wolf. My problem with this figure though is he's 9,900 yen.
Is it the ring?
I don't think so because the ring's supposed to only be included in the first production version. Which, I mean, even if it's the ring, those rings they sell the 2 packs of those rings for 1,000 yen, so that's not the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing where
as Psycho said, the ring is a working version of one they already made. Yeah, that ring has been available as a promo, but it didn't turn. This is the turning version.
Like it always kind of feels like with the Sentai.
But the Toku figure arts in general just seem expensive.
I think especially the Sensei ones because I feel like they're like a hook, like a fish, like a hook on the ring kind of thing. Whereas I feel like the ultras are I always feel like the ultra figure arts are fairly decent. They kind of release them like your anime figure arts with figure arts where like your tiers of like ultra is treated like a normal figure arts line with some exceptions. Rider is like a weird middle where you get your retail figures but half the line is pre-Bandai, and then
most of the line's pre-Bandai.
But most of you get most characters that appear in the season. Sentai really feels like a fish hook scenario where it's like, oh look, Sentai figure, do you want it? Why give us like $100?
Because looking at this, Boon Red last year was 8,250 yen. Kyoryu Red was 9,900 yen, but that's a Seiho, right? So this is a normal figure art at a Seiho price. Because even Okuwagata Oger was 8,250. Kuwagata Oger was 7,150. Gokai Red was 9,350. Seiho. And then Zenkaiser Black was 7,150, and then we start going back, before economic shifts. I think there is like an economic problem happening, in Japan that is causing this.
Well, it's also a licensing problem. You think it's a licensing problem?
I don't think it's a licensing problem. I think it's an economic problem. I also will say, because we're about to talk about Yugi, one of the things that does cause the Toku figure arts to be more expensive is the paint. They have a much higher paint job than the anime figures do.
Which is weird. You think it'd be the opposite. But I think it's because of such a.
I think because with the anime figures, when they're doing the faces are just printed, whereas these have to be painted. And the thing that I think is causing his price is all of his fingertips are painted. All the gold fingertips are painted on every hand, and then that Tega sword is fully detailed.
Yeah, it's not like they simplify it like some other previous figure arts do with their weapons. It is fully back in the day when they did the Rider Sentai, like the Rider gimmick will always kind of be simplified, for example.
This is all fully painted, so I think that's where it's coming from. And that's true, too. Spindash said they also argue because they can't sell the Sentai ones overseas as a factor of economics of scale. I think that's also a factor as well. They can't sell as many units, so they have to make more on each individual unit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, probably.
Now, that being said, it's when you have that, when it's just, like, hands plus Tega sword, and then you look at Yami Yugi, who's the same exact price, but comes with, like...
Where it's like... Like this
A
is
whole
like
ass
I would have
effect part in a cape.
like this
Yeah.
God, this Yugi looks so good. Like
Mm-hmm.
damn. Like, like I think the Figma one and the Rebel Tech one look pretty alright. The Rebel Tech one when that touched a 50-foot pole with the other, seeing the other
Yeah.
figures. But like the
It's funny.
Figma
This
one,
has the same hip design as the Rebel Techs.
but like here's the thing, no, because it's gotta be like the Figure 3.0 style, so it's already
Yeah.
better. But like, damn, he looks so nice. Like, actually, this is gonna be a Yuki that actually crunches, have a actual like ab crunch
Yeah.
finally.
The Mirror Force
Like,
effect is great. The dual disc is an alternate arm.
which I think is smart.
Four extra faces, ton of extra hands.
Tons of
What I like
hands.
too is the cards are molded to the hands.
Yeah, you don't have to fiddle
Yeah.
like you have to fiddle with them. You know what's funny when I see Yi with that like actual
I'm super
mirror
hyped for
force.
this.
Mhm.
When I see Yi with that mirror force effect, I kind of think of him when he's in Jump Force, where he can
Oh,
play
yeah.
Yugi playing other shonen characters. That's all I can think of when you
That
see
was his
that
block,
effect.
right? Wasn't his block like Mirror Force
Yeah.
or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm buying this for my shonen shelf, not for a Yu-Gi-Oh display. I'm buying this for my shonen shelf. Though I heard actually really good things about the Dark Magician, so that's actually kind of tempted to get Dark Magician at the very least.
Spinach says that we see what's on the backside of the cards. Not yet, but I would imagine they're just blank. That's my guess.
It is blank, yeah.
Yeah. Blader said isn't Boone Red's weapon painted too? Yes, but they made the gun and the sword the same piece. You just swap out one part for the blade, and so that's how they reduce the price on it. I think a little bit. Adding to this, we got a new Goku. This is the beginning of the decisive battle, which is him basically
Or the
at
game,
the
or
Cell
the game
games.
begins. Goku, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our finally, our 3.0 Z Goku. Finally, because we got a 3.0 Goku with the Daima, which is funny because the Daima, I think when this guy announced Daima Goku just came out in Japan, the adult one. So that's kind of funny coincidence scenario, but yeah, so this is good using a lot of the modern. If you don't, people don't know. The 3.0 means when I say 3.0, it's because they're using the more modern figure articulation. All your Saiyan race on Earth Goku's the lowest Saiyan. Like the current Goku you can find at retail right now, and like your targets and stuff is using the 2.0 body, which is really dated. Like especially compared to
The
other
3.0 body seems to use some of the tech from like the Demon Slayer figures in terms of how pants are
well,
canceled.
it first was I think in terms of at least Dragon Ball, I think it was first noticed with Superhero Gohan. Because if you look at design, he used very similar parts as Superhero Gohan. They're all new parts for him, but his knees are actually similar to the Daima adult figures, which I know people go like, "Oh, they're single jointed," but like it's always the case.
It's all
of,
about
it always
range, not about the number of joints.
Yep, scenario. He looks great because
I like how big his hair is.
Yeah. I don't think the Tamashi page has it, but like I think they also released a weirdly a diagrammic spec that we did never do, but they made a picture going like here's like the upgraded like what's new about this figure in terms of articulation. Because like the biggest problem of the 2.0 Goku I always have is he cannot do really good Kamehameha like blast of pose because his butterfly joints suck. Like he can't really cross his arms very well. But since he's using the 3.0 articulation scheme, he can actually cross his arms.
And like Muteki
well.
said, the shoulder like clothing part is actually molded in with the shoulder. It's not like that weird floating piece.
Yeah, and they said his gi torso is made of a softer plastic, so you can get a much deeper crunch. What's interesting? Well,
that is his main. That Spindash said that the main image is his pose from the Broly movie poster. It is. How interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is your Cell Saga, like end of Cell Saga Goku, which is the kind of iconic Goku look, pretty much. But like they actually specifically say in that little diagram that they specifically took out parts to get better range for its articulation, because on the 2.0 Gokus, there's a weird square peg in front of the ball joint that prevents it to crunch further. I don't know. That's because that's for durability or what, but like I see people mod their figures where they cut that square thing out to give their 2.0 Gokus better ab crunches, and they basically said they got rid of that here in that diagram, so you can actually do a really good crunch. Yeah, that's actually really nice to see. And yeah, it's like because you also you know how the Figure Arts Tundra has that kind of on his like his boots. He has that
Yes.
kind of bend in the boot where you could get deeper
Yeah,
knee
where it's like
bends.
it's not just the knee bending, but you can also move like the boot in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they include that with Goku. They
Oh,
include
that's really
that in
cool.
the blue part. Yeah,
Yeah.
and such like that. And what's great about this figure, he's the budget price. He's gotta be like he's like 4,000 yen, I think, something like
He's
that.
4,400 yen, which in old
Which is
days would
like
be the
30.
$35 figure art.
So like the
Which
fact
we'll
they're
see
selling
what the
this
new
brand,
price is when it comes out, but yeah.
but still like the fact we're getting this like from the ground up sculpt for Goku, 3.0 Goku for that budget price is honestly fantastic.
Yep.
Like and such like that.
And like
Because
Spindash said, this is the 48th Goku in figure arts.
yep.
Yep.
Z Broly 2.0 maybe soon. I don't think so, Kyle, because he just re-released.
Then again, they
Broly.
re-released Jiraiya and then made a new one a year later.
Yeah, true. But I see people go like, since this is the Cell game Goku.
Yeah.
3.0 Cell, because we really need one, because that old Cell figure is dated. Like, it's really old. So like,
can we get new 17 and 18?
That's it. Like, yeah, because I won't be surprised you'll get 3.0 Cell,
Yeah.
3.0 SHA2 Gohan, because
we need a 2.0 Android 16.
Yeah, because they have not released 16 in years.
No,
at
it's
all.
been a long time. I'm looking at him
So,
right
like,
now, and it's like he's old.
we also need semi-perfect Cell also, but like
Yeah.
that could be a P Bandai release. I don't mind to be that one's exclusive there. I'll be honest. And such.
All right. Anything
But
else
yeah.
on Goku though? Because I think it looks great.
Kels, what you yeah, Kels, what you think?
I mean, I love him. I love his joints. That's exactly what I wanted.
And I think him being at an affordable price, I might just pick him up because he's like
that exactly.
Yeah. He also has.
I'd probably get him over the Daima one, honestly.
The Diamond one is really good. I've seen videos of it. It looks really good, but like I'll probably still pick it up. But this one,
I think that's what I'm more interested in. Overall, I like the presentation more. Yeah,
I like the body proportion. The body proportions are really good also because he's not too bulky like the Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, but he's not like too skinny, which I feel like the 2.0 body's a little problem is. He's a little too skinny. He's like a good middle. Like he's.
That said, the Goku mid of all time. Yep. All right, that's nothing more perfect than that. All right, in the world of
the Daima DLC pack is available now. You pick.
Oh, it is available now.
Season pass. Yep.
It's not available now. It's available when the stream's over. Anyways, SMP Woolkaiser has been fully revealed here. So we got to look at Woolzard in this SMP. They made his sword gigantic.
No, his head.
His head's tiny. Well, the original deluxe one, the head was tiny because that's to fold into the chest.
I know, but it's more funnier.
Figure.
Yeah,
it's more funnier here because of his giant shield and sword.
Yes, the sword and sea look huge. I don't know why it is. Here we got his horse.
He looks like that guy from the Beetlejuice scene where he's in the waiting room.
Yes, he does look like Bob. The horse's ass can articulate, so that's pretty rad.
Yeah, for the butt cheek articulation.
Yeah, he looks pretty good once he's on the horse. Of course, you can also have them combine, and then they can do the centaur mode naturally, which looks pretty good. All things considered, he looks tiny compared to the deluxe toy. He looks tiny, but it's all to pay off later on when you get into the combination.
It looks like one of those like horse costumes where like one's the top, one's the front, one's the ass end.
They did articulate the horse though, so you can't have him in like a stirrup reaching pose, which looks great. Then adding to this, of course, it combines, and this is why he looks so small, because the original deluxe toy has this like giant barrel chest. Yeah, because he's a big figure, and then he's like this giant barrel chest. For this, they wanted to go more suit accurate, so it fills it in better, but that means he does look too small, I think, in the other two modes. But for the final combo mode, which SMPs are kind of a pain in the ass to transform anyways, you're probably sticking it in this mode and leaving it. This mode looks the best, and it looks really, really nice.
It's tempting because I adore Centaurus Wolf Megazord / Woolkaiser so much. Like I just love it's one of the top tier Sentai mecha designs. Like it's to the point where it looks like a super robot. Like it doesn't look like it's from Sentai, it looks like from his own super robot series and such.
The Machi Ranger mecha is so good except for Legend. Screw Legend.
And especially I have a lot of nostalgia for this mecha's story time.
Short story time, please. We got Star Wars.
But like in Vietnam, when I went to Vietnam, back as a kid for family related stuff. We got the Woolkaiser. I got the Woolkaiser like Japanese toy there. It was just available there. Sadly, I was a kid, so I keep breaking Woolkaiser's elbows off because I never realized he never had elbow joints off. So I had to keep rebuying that figure or gluing it. But like I have a lot of personal attachment to it. When I think of Woolkaiser, I think of my time in Vietnam and me and my family and such. So like. And so I remember as a kid, I got the 5-inch figure of Centaurus Wolf Megazord, or I think it was called like Wolf King Megazord.
Yeah, they never got the names right back then.
Evil space alien.
Yeah.
And such. Well, yeah. Like this one, like I don't collect SMP, but like I'm kind of tempted on this one.
And his elbows are double jointed, so you don't have to worry about that.
I think it helps that Wolfkaiser is a very much a humanoid design compared to other Sentai mecha.
It was the first Japanese mecha I ever bought, I think.
Wasn't he like dirt cheap?
He was at the time. Yeah, I got a pretty good deal on him. Psycho is flexing over here because the UK got this as a Mystic Force. They got the deluxe toy as a Mystic Force one.
Was there a red?
Yeah.
Okay, Psycho, can you debunk the myth or not? Was there a red version of this in the UK, like the Wolverine, Wolf Warrior?
Like the all red one. Yeah, that's always been like a rumor, but I've never.
Because I know the red, like the 5-inch figure's real, but I always hear rumors of like deluxe one having a Wolf Warrior. If you could debunk that myth or not in the chat, that'd be nice because I always want to know like is that true or real or not scenario.
Yeah, Spin Dash said I'm running out of room for SMP, but I can't not get this. Yeah, I mean if you're collecting SMP, this is like a no-brainer. They did confirm, of course, that it does combine with Magi Phoenix from Magi King, so you can make the Fire Kaiser.
Fire mode.
Yeah. Adding to this as well, in addition to this thing being kind of like stupidly good articulated, the next one in the line is going to be Saint Kaiser, the repaint for the movie.
Fork found in kitchen.
It's real fork found in kitchen mode. Like every time there's a possible repaint, they do it immediately. The question is, are we going to see Trevelyan and Magi Legend? Because sometimes they don't finish these SMP lines. I hope so, because I like those two. And I'd like
Legend,
to see
I feel like
also, for whatever reason, you can combine Magi Garuda to the back of him.
Hey, what's cooler than Woolkaiser? Woolkaiser wings.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, universal peg system, why not? I did forget to mention, it does have a waist swivel. I scrolled through the pictures, but it does have a waist swivel through this other piece that you basically separate.
Psycho is confirmed, narrow red version. Okay, that was a myth.
Yeah.
Then.
Basically, you pop him in half, so you leave his legs in the bottom, and then you put this other piece in, and then you close them up, and then that way you can twist the waist.
You just bisect him.
Yes, you bisect him, and then it also becomes the seat of the writing mode, so you don't lose that piece.
Honestly, I'm curious how they do Magi Legend. I feel like Magi Legend would be definitely approved as an articulated action figure.
Magi Legend is... I hate that mecha because of the toy. That gimmick ruins the entire thing it has going for it. Blade Raider says something still waiting on Shoto Gingaman. I'm waiting on Shoto Super to do anything. Like, I know they had the Kyoryuger stuff, but it's been a while since they announced, like, another team that wasn't, Kyoryuger. I think Psycho said that it's been a year since Jacko was announced. And there's not been anything since besides Kyoryuger.
I'm kind of sad that neither like Bandai Japan or like say the Boom Comics ever do like the cool what if like Wolf Warrior Red, because the Saint Kaiser, that the horse that has the Wolf Kaiser head, and that it was a new sculpt and everything. It looked really cool. I kind of wish like they made like a Purify where he uses Wolf Warrior, Wolf Kaiser Fire, uses that, and then uses that head. In like a cool what
it'd be cool because it's in the toy that Wolf Kaiser can be in, or a Wolzard can use the Saint Kaiser, and it's just never been in the story.
I kind of wish it was some kind of weird Televicun thing, or the Boom Comics could have used, or the Boom Comics,
or a Magi Ranger 20th movie that they're not making.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. G-Ranger's all the rage, I guess, in Japan. I don't know. This is weird. They've been pumping G-Ranger stuff out because they had Tyranno Rangers, one of the Universe Warriors, and Gojuger. Adding to that, there is now a Memorial Edition Dino Buckler. This one is meant to look like the show. So it's got like the original buckle design that's in the show.
So it's not the legacy mold used for the umpteenth time.
Right, it's not the legacy mold. It's a completely welcome Nerdy Texas account. It's a completely new mold that's meant to look like the original prop, right? So it still has like the sticker on the back because that's what the prop had.
No molded Z like the Legacy and Lightning and all
Right.
that stuff.
And the buckle actually looks like the one in the show, not the one that came with the toy. The coins are weathered. So it's the 5 coins plus the holster and the changer itself.
I think this is probably the best look at the coins because I feel like the original Legacy ones were a little too weathered. The
Yeah.
Lightning ones are too shiny. I think the Memorial ones are pretty alright, but I think this is the more I like these ones because it's like more like a outline instead of a full weather texture. It looks like it's the best because it actually like
and they are plastic coins. That is
it gives the dinos more definition. Scenario like that.
Adding to this, it's 16,500 yen, releasing in November. In addition to LEDs, as well as 2 pieces of music, there's no cast voice lines, but they do have a motion sensor equipped in it. So when you can pull it out of the buckle, turn around, dino buckler, like it'll actually do the sounds. It's the motion sensor system that like Ultra Replicas had for years.
Isn't the Playmates one gonna have a motion sensor?
I thought the Playmates one was just. Was it having a motion sensor? I don't remember.
I swear, it's been a while, but like I swear I remember some kind of motion sensor. It might be Mandela effect.
Falcon's Tech, yes, the rear design is just a sticker because that's how it looked like in the original show. They're going for show accuracy.
Also, geez, I wonder why they couldn't make the cast back. It's not like some of them were kind of controversial.
Yeah. I think also we're seeing that like we haven't seen. Remember they already teased the O-Ranger Memorial Edition thing, and they haven't actually shown it. Yeah, they teased it. I remember we talked about it. I think. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. They teased an O-Ranger Memorial Edition. We haven't actually seen it yet, and that's another question of they got the cast for the Doron Changer because they did a 30th anniversary special, but are they going to get the older the show, the harder it gets.
It's like with the Go On Changer, only Sosuke because he was available because of Boom Boonger.
Right. So anyways, just kind of go alongside that. They did also tease that there is a Dragon Buckler coming. So
fork found in kitchen.
Yep. All right.
Make your own custom tiger coins, people.
After the surprise appearance of it's showing up in frickin' Gojuger, Black and Gold Daijujin is now canon, and so the DX Robo Universe toy is now coming in Black and Gold.
Yeah, here's this horribly inaccurate toy because surprisingly they didn't use this model. They had the model.
Yeah, they're using the regular look because they didn't make a new suit.
Which is weird because they have the model from that
short
episode 0.
But they're just using like the regular suit. All the individual modes still look like pain, but I gotta say it does look nice in Black and Gold.
No, it doesn't. You're lying to yourself.
It is the nicest looking Robo Universe just because that color scheme works.
Yeah, but they look like they're all like, man, they were like, please end me.
I know. I said, ignoring the individual modes, I think the combined robot mode doesn't look too bad in Black and Gold. I think it kind of works for it.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, honestly, but I can't get over how horrendous.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because the gray frame doesn't stick out as much as it does in the multicolor look,
and plus, this will be like an evil version, right? In the
show, I have no idea. I haven't seen this week's episode.
But still, it looks cooler.
It looks cool.
But still, I can't. But like, man,
I do wish it was like a Black and Gold of like a better looking toy of it.
I mean, we do. We had the Legacy version and that one NFT.
Falcon's Tech said, "I don't see how this is worth anywhere close to the asking price in terms of the Memorial Edition." Yeah, I'm not. That price seems high too. And Psycho has mentioned that the original Super Sentai Artisan, which used the Legacy mold and came with a crystal, was 10,584 yen. I do think it's an economic thing. I think we're seeing the price slipping on a lot of this.
Remember the Memorial Edition only came with 1 coin. You had to buy the rest separate.
That's right. Yeah, it only came with 1 coin. That's true. But they were die-cast. But anyways, yes, Psycho said yes. I am worried that they're going to make Black and Gold versions canon, so I have to buy more stuff for the shelf. But at this point, I'm like, how do I get a Black and Gold Daijujin because it's canon now? Anyways,
how much are the Legacy ones going for? Or does that one? Did
they make a Soul Trigoken Black and Gold?
No, they didn't.
They did. They did do a black one, but it was black and green. It was weird.
Nemesis Prime colors?
Yeah, it was Nemesis Prime colors. All right, also announced for more details coming later, it's the Complete Selection Modification Lost Driver version 2. It's advertised as coming with Skull, Eternal, and Joker memories, and 2 Eternal memories, both the T1 and T2 versions. And then they're going to be doing 4 frickin' T2 Gaia memory sets. A to G, H to N, O to T, and U to Z. So I guess it's going to be for the next several months.
Did they do a Fudo PI version of this?
I think. Did they do... Someone in the chat, probably Spin Dash, did they do a Fudo PI Lost Driver, or did they skip over that?
Because Joker was in Fudo PI, so I won't be surprised they did do a
Yeah, Skull was
Memorial
also
in-
in Fudo PI, so
yeah, in the movie, yeah.
yeah. I think this is coming out because the movie just hit Blu-ray in Japan.
No Fudo. That's
Not
interesting.
Fudo, okay. Yeah, the interesting part is the T2 Guy memory set, they did a complete selection one way back in the day, like when when Double was new, it was a complete selection before modification existed, and it was all the T2 memories in one set, and then now it's like, nope, we're splitting them into 4. Economics. It's the economic stuff. Like
Did they ever do Tokame? Did they ever do Tokame's
Nope.
Joker Topon memory? They never did?
Nope.
I thought they did.
The only Futo PI memories, as far as I know, are just voice lines.
Welcome.
Yeah. So, Spendash said there's a Futo Skull memory coming from a mail-away offer, but it's a 1.5. Okay.
Wheels, are you ready to talk about Star Wars?
Oh.
Cool, you can leave then.
Yeah, you came in. You can leave
That's
it.
all we got left is Star Wars. So if you don't want to talk about Star Wars, I got nothing for you.
Because there's nothing to talk about except Visions anime.
No, there's.
You don't want to talk about. You don't want to talk about.
No, we're going to talk about the best news up front because this is my show. Anyways,
also, Mike. Also, this came I must have missed the news, but I didn't know Celebration was having Japan. So when they were getting Star Wars announced, I was like, why is everything Japanese? I never saw it.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Did they even put any of the trailers up yet?
Well, no, they don't put up. There's no trailers to put up because they did put up the Visions trailer. They put up the Visions trailer, and they put up.
There was the Mandalorian trailer, but
yeah, no, the Mandalorian trailer is not to be shown to the public.
It was probably a leak sale.
That movie's still a year away, so they're not going to
whole year.
The whole year. Yeah, we're gonna get to. I got it all covered for you guys. I'm gonna talk about all of it. I saw all the leak trailers. Okay, I'm pretty good at this shit. All right.
and the sad part is they had exclusive, allegedly micro squadrons there that aren't going to be sold in America for like a while, and I'm like,
that's
but that's like every toy line ever.
I know, but like,
you know.
Oh no, it's not just they're like, oh no, we're like they're not geo-locking it and making it exclusive, but it's just like it sucks because like it's like released there entirely rather than being like a geo-con lock kind of thing.
All right, moving on. So in the world of Star Wars, it's Darth Maul's turn. Darth Maul finally gets the treatment that he deserves. It's called a whole dang show. All right. I can't take this lightsaber to turn off.
Now here's the thing: is this animated or live action? Because
this is animated.
Okay, good. So that means Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Because it's like if this was live action, now I'm not because to me Darth Maul is only interesting when he's voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yes. But it's funny because even when Darth Maul appeared in live action in Solo, he was still voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yeah, but that was a cameo, so that's a deception.
So, Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord is the next Star Wars animated show. We've been wondering what was going to be next from Lucasfilm Animation, and they did this whole panel. It was like the Lucasfilm Animation 20th anniversary, and they were doing stuff with that. And as part of that panel, Yes.
Super chat from Mateki Sound. Do the Kenobi desert yell.
If I wasn't sick, I would, but I'm not even anywhere close to being able to pull that
Wheels,
off
can you do Wheels? Can you do the Kenobi scream?
I'm not talking loudly, Wheels. I'm talking at my normal tone, but I keep getting interrupted, so I have to talk louder.
What is he talking about?
Wheels is a fake Star Wars fan. Moving on. All right, so
talking about the stupid thing he did in the desert in episode 4.
No, it was in Rebels.
In Rebels.
Oh.
I never saw Rebels.
I'm like, I don't even remember the scream. That's the sad part.
Wheels is a fake Star Wars fan. You heard it here first.
I just remember it being like so quick samurai duel.
Yeah, so you missed the entire point of the episode, so shut up and let me talk about the show. I don't have time to deal with this, Wheels. I don't have time to deal with the I don't remember stuff. Well, too bad. We're moving on with what we do remember, okay? That's where we're at. We have a ton of news, and we're going to go through it. All right, so Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord is the gap filler of Darth Maul stories that they kept holding back from us because this is how Star Wars works sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. So this is going to be following from where we left Darth Maul at the end of Clone Wars to where we saw him in Rebels. So it is confirmed to be a multi-season show, which is great. There also is a bunch of details that were confirmed because they brought Sam Witwer out on stage to talk about Darth Maul. So it is going to be animated. which is awesome. It's going to be following Darth Maul getting an apprentice. That apprentice is Darth Talon, so we're finally bringing her into canon. And then adding to this as well, they're probably going to work in the Crimson Dawn storyline to kind of explain his cameo from Solo and how that all came to be.
Oh yeah, because they never really conclude that storyline.
No, they never did. They concluded what happened to Crimson Dawn, but they didn't really get the Darth Maul side of it. Falcon Sex says, hoping we're getting a solid 3 seasons for this like we did Bad Batch. I think three seasons would be perfect. Kind of like...
Wait, when did they conclude their storyline?
In the comics.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they did 4 back-to-back events involving Kira and the Crimson Dawn.
Fake fan. No.
I don't call myself a Star Wars fan. I'm
Yes.
super casual about Star Wars.
So the other thing that I found interesting...
Also, is it Darth Talon being canon now, like, a few hundred years before her time? Because if I recall, wasn't she from a future timeline?
Yes, she was. And so the thing is that she was going to be the villain of George Lucas's sequel trilogy. Like his 7, 8, and 9 was going to have Darth Talon as the villain. Welcome, AR. So apparently, and this was really funny, is that Sam Witwer, who is the biggest Star Wars nerd on the planet, he said, "Yeah, my faith, my trust in Dave Filoni is shaken because he just told me while working on the show that he knows what George's plans were for 7, 8, and 9." And he started working it into the stuff now. And I feel like he should have told me this beforehand so I could have been excited about it. So, apparently Dave Filoni knows all of his master's secrets. And the Darth Talon stuff for the show is inspired by and, like, reinvigorating the stuff that George would have done in 7, 8, and 9 before.
Now I'm just imagining Filoni sitting crisscross on the floor where George was telling his ideas like a story time scenario.
I kind of feel like that's how it is.
I love how you said Sam's faith is shaken that he wasn't told sooner. And I'm just like, come on, Sam.
I thought I could trust you.
He's like, I thought we were friends and you didn't tell me about this.
I'm like, but guys, this is why. You know why he didn't tell Sam? Because Sam is able to be that guy who will explain shit Filoni won't.
Yes.
I think that's why Filoni's mad. He's like, stop explaining these things. It has to be the mystery that I tell. And Sam's like, bad, I tell. So anyways. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Sam's just like...
So that's the kind of thing that I think is fun. And I think that's why I'm like super excited for this show, is not just because it's Darth Maul, like, you know, my favorite Star Wars character. Just casually, my favorite Star Wars character. But
don't you own his lightsaber? Right?
I own his lightsabers, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, when am I going to get, like his Rebels lightsaber is the one they haven't made because I have all of his others, and so I'm like, I need his Rebels lightsaber, and now I'm like, oh, he's probably going to have it in the show because he has to get new lightsabers now, and then I'm finally going to get it. So I'm a happy camper.
His lightsaber was the first one I ever owned.
Yeah. I think it was one of my first ones too. I have the faulty one that catches fire.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Do you guys not know about this? Okay, so
No. Can you please be specific to make sure that is not the one that
So the electronic Darth Maul lightsaber for Phantom Menace, the first release of it, the way it worked was that instead of using LED bulbs like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, which had a similar issue where they would melt, not catch fire, the Darth Maul one, because they had to build 2 blades into it, and this was like really early in electronic lightsaber tech, they used strobe lights, and so what would happen is it wouldn't light up the whole time, but when you would hit it against something, it would flash the strobe light on.
Oh, God.
And the mechanism was faulty, and so they had to recall all of them because several kept catching fire.
Okay, so I think that's the version I have.
Because they reissued the toy without the fire catching feature.
Yeah, I either have that one or the one that came out right after it, because I did get it during, like, at least its initial release.
Yeah. So you may have had, like, the original, like, or...
Yeah, but mine just didn't catch on fire.
Yeah, because mine never caught on fire either. The fun part about that lightsaber is when you turn it on, it makes that, like high-pitched, like, sound that, like, a camera flash makes when it's powering up. That might be an old enough reference for people not to know that. Anyways, it makes a sound like it's charging up. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, because, like, I either have that one or when they made the set. Because, like, it still... When it came in the box, it was the red box. You know, the red and the gold trim. So I'm pretty sure it was at least V1 or V2.
Yep. Anyways, that's
Off
your
the
fun
choke to
fact.
you so you can
Star
tell
Wars
which one
toys
it
that
is.
they used to explode. Because they didn't know how, also those things ran off of like C batteries. They're heavy as hell. Like nowadays they run on like AAAs and it's nice, but like yeah, no, the old toys had a chance of killing you. It was different times in 1999, right? Anyways, that's pretty much it on the Darth Maul front. It is coming out in 2026. They did show some footage at the Celebration event, which did show Darth Talon. And just like how Falcon's Tech mentioned that Darth Talon was a top tier Gooner character. Yeah, her canon take, she has clothing now. She's not in a string bikini, but she does have like clothing.
For shame.
It's a shame, but also at the same time, it's good because the problem I find with Darth Talon is that she kind of runs into this issue where like people are like, "Oh, I love Darth Talon." I'm like, "Tell me one thing about her character," and then they just black out on me.
Yeah, well, she was a pirate from the future, man. And
see,
she
you actually know it.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. See, Wheels.
yeah.
I rescind my Wheels is a fake Star Wars fan comment from earlier. Wheels is a non-canon Star Wars fan. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm no. Well, no. What's the term? Well, what's the term?
Legends. You're a legend Star
Wars
fan.
No. There's another term. There's a joke. It was like, yeah, I know about the sacred texts.
Oh yeah, the sacred text. Yeah. All right. So going from the best announcement to the worst one.
What that Yoda burned.
Yeah, the Jedi Archive, the sacred text.
Yeah. Come on, the sacred text.
All right, I'm gonna change the color of the title card back because we're not in mall time anymore.
All right, joke I was coming with, but like I'm drawing a blank right now.
Moving on. Going from the best announcement to the worst one, we have another Star Wars movie. I'm gonna put coming out because how many times have we heard that they're making another Star Wars movie? The answer is 10, and only one of them is actually coming out, which is Mandalorian Grogu. We'll talk about next. With this one, we have Star Wars Starfighter, the worst title ever. Hate it. Anytime you put the same word in a title twice, it sounds dumb, like Dragon Ball Superhero.
Superhero, yeah.
Star Wars Starfighter, much like Star Wars Rogue Squadron before it, has a director attached to it and a lead, and they actually have a lead star, so they're one step forward from Rogue Squadron. Also named after an old video game.
Are you talking about the video game?
Yeah. Star Wars Starfighter, they are claiming to be filming this fall. I also remember when Rogue Squadron was going to be filming. I also remember, they have a release date, a title, a director, a writer, and a lead actor. You know what also had all that? Blade. So, the fact is, this isn't a real movie to me until it actually starts filming.
Remember when they were talking about doing episode 10?
Yes.
Years ago.
They still have like 2 different trilogies in development because they keep saying like, oh, this director's doing this movie, but then they never actually like say they're not doing it. Like clearly Kevin Feige is not making a Star Wars movie.
Like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Rian Johnson's not making a Star Wars trilogy. Okay? Like there's none of this. So
wasn't the Game of Thrones people gonna make a Star Wars thing?
Yes, and apparently
Solo, and they were ripped off of the project.
And apparently Simon Kinberg, the guy that was the producer on most of the X-Men movies, has also got a trilogy in the works. Taika Waititi's apparently working on a movie. Like there's all these people like, and I'm like, they don't feel real to me. This one at least they made a presentation at Star Wars Celebration. That being said,
yeah, because at least the other ones are like press release, weren't they?
Yes,
right.
This one they like went to the convention on, but I think they've made absolutely every mistake they possibly could. So let's go through it. First things first, title sucks, right? All right, there we go. Next thing, Sean Levy. So Sean Levy as a director makes movies that sometimes they're crowd pleasers, and that's good.
Was he?
He did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, and Free Guy. Yeah, that was like.
Yeah, and he did Free Guy.
He's one of those things like Sean Levy. I feel like I heard his name before.
And he also, I think, did a Night at the Museum movie.
Yeah, I think he did those.
So he's usually like a comedy-focused action director, right? So this could be more comedic-focused. The other thing adding to this is that Ryan Gosling's the star. So, okay, so I mean this with all due respect and credit to Ryan Gosling as an actor. That man can't sell movie tickets to save his life.
Barbie was Margot Robbie.
Yep. Barbie is the biggest.
Draw a dime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. The thing is, if you look at Ryan Gosling's box office, it's like looking at the viewership between my third most popular video and my fourth most popular video. You're like, okay, this video has 1 million views, and then the next video has like 500,000. It's like, what happened here, right? It's kind of like his box office. Like, the top of his box office that's not Barbie is still under the amount of money a Star Wars movie needs to make to break even.
And one of the things where
Blade Runner kind of screwed his career lately, it seems like.
Blade Runner was always going to flop, but
yeah, that's
even before Blade Runner, but it's like Blade Runner and Free Guy, or not Free Guy, Fall Guy, and like so many others. Like
Ryan Gosling is an actor or is a good actor who's in good movies. It's one of those movies don't do well. That's the problem. They're good movies.
Yeah. I enjoy a lot of the movies he's in. I like him as an actor, but like he can't sell tickets.
That's good enough because Blade Runner.
That's why Saban tried to kill his career.
Oh god, that's right. He was young Hercules.
Yeah, because like Blade Runner, that's the sequel. The sequel film. I heard nothing but fantastic things about that sequel film.
Yes.
Didn't do well.
And that also is because they put Ryan Gosling and Jared Leto into the same movie.
Right, using that film also.
Yep.
God damn it.
See, the difference between Jared Leto and Ryan Gosling is I like Ryan Gosling. They both take movies in box offices, though.
There's the thing. One's a good, one act. It's one of the things Ryan Gosling has the fan base, but like, is it big enough to put season theaters?
Fall Guy was the movie to prove if his fan base was big enough that after Barbie he could draw an audience. Yeah. It didn't work.
His fan base was mostly after he did like La La Land. Unfortunately, like for some reason, like yes, he was a female heartthrob, but like his only good movies are with women. So if it's a movie with like him doing a romance or a musical,
he's really good in romance roles. Yeah, and even Fall Guy was a little bit of that, but it was more action than romance, right?
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Girls didn't show up. The young Hercules fans did.
Right. So here's the thing. I think that could really work for this movie is maybe what they need is a strong female lead that could make it like kind of like a Star Wars, maybe not like rom-com exactly, but like kind of have that like.
Guys, I have an idea. This is just hear me out. Guy who's directing it is wrong. Just put Raimi involved. Let Raimi make a Star Wars film. Let Raimi direct Ryan Gosling again, and we'll have magic. I mean, Kevin Smith is dead, but we'll have magic.
I mean that might work. Ryan, what do you got? Yeah.
No, you said the worst. You said the worst thing that Star Wars fans don't want to hear: female.
I know. Here's the thing: I think that this movie needs is a strong female lead, and you know what's the problem? They had a chance and they fumbled it.
Yeah, because Star Wars fans are sexist.
No, exactly. So here's the problem.
Also, they are.
Nerdy Text account says I don't follow actors, so if you name actors, I don't know without a picture. Here's Ryan Gosling. There you go. There's Ryan Gosling. So the story came out that this was actually before Celebration. Mikey Madison had just won an Oscar for Best Actress on Anora at this year's Oscars. And they were in talks with her to star in this movie besides Ryan Gosling, right? Like she was going to be the co-lead or the female lead of the movie, right? And then she turned the part down. Which is either a combination of Star Wars is too toxic and people don't want to work in it because of the fandom space, which is understandable. But if she was in talks, I feel like she would have known that going in, which kind of makes me wonder if there's an issue with the movie's story that she didn't want to do it. But the point is, somebody winning an Oscar, going into a meeting for Star Wars and then choosing not to do it is a bad look on Star Wars. Because that means they can't get hot talent.
It's sad, it's kind of sad to see what Star Wars is in this guy's career because I think of like Harrison Ford, where like we all
where he had 10 times the fun doing Captain America that he did doing Han Solo.
Yeah, where you always see the stories of how much Harrison hated Star Wars, and meanwhile you look at him with Marvel, and even though like people ask like, what do you think is like the focal point of the movie, and like I don't care, I'm just doing it for money. But like that's the thing, he says stuff like that. He still enjoys time.
Like he's doing it with a smile on his face, whereas with Star Wars, he was like, "I have to be here."
His soul suck out.
So adding to this, I think the biggest mistake they're making with this movie is the release date, because the release date is May 28th, 2027. That is exactly 1 year after Mando and Grogu. That is 3 weeks after Avengers Secret Wars, and that's 1 week before the next Spider-Verse movie, assuming that movie gets made.
Hey, we have pictures at least this time.
Yes, we at least have pictures. At least we know they're working on it.
Did we talk about Spider-Man? I feel like we didn't when the press release came out for those.
No, I just didn't feel like there was anything to talk about. I was kind of like
Okay.
hoping the movie would happen. So the thing is, I think this is a horrible release date. Like, this is a horrible release date.
That's the thing, because the biggest problem with Disney Star Wars is they were trying to make it Marvel.
Yes.
With the whole yearly release.
Right, exactly. Annual Star Wars movies already killed the franchise. Why are we doing it again? Right? Like, what? This should be a 2028 movie at the earliest, so it's, that way there's 2 years between Mando and Grogu in this. And it should be in December, not in May. All the Star Wars movies that did well in December, not in May.
Because they're Christmas event movies practically at that point.
Like, key them up as a Christmas event. May is too crowded. Summer season's too crowded. Put Star Wars in a different spot. Like, the fact that they're like, let's just do another movie 1 year later is like, it's insane. Like, no, learn a lesson, please. I'm learning the lessons and I don't even work for the stupid company.
I'll never forget the chaotic summer of 2023 with movies.
Yes. Yeah, where they put 5 blockbusters in 1 month.
You got like Transformers, Spider-Verse,
Flash, Elemental,
Flash.
Remember when they put out Power Rangers in 2017 and like March
the most
April and May was so effing crowded. It was like I only saw like 3 films at
remember when
there was a blockbuster every week and they all got slaughtered by Beauty and the Beast.
Remember when the Lionsgate Power Rangers movie was going to come at the same day as Civil War and BVS?
Yep. AR said, hell, the worst Star Wars movie did amazing because it was in December. Yeah, the only Star Wars movie from Disney to not make $1 billion was Solo, and that's the only one that came out in May. So why are we doing May 2 years in a row? Nuritex account said, I think Star Wars needs a hiatus for 5 to 10 years and bring it back. In terms of the movie space, Mando and Grogu is coming 7 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, God, it's been that long?
Yeah, exactly. There's been a ton of TV shows, so it feels like it never went away. Like, we never really had a break. But, like, I'll give them credit. They at least waited 7 years to put another movie out. But I don't think we need to be doing this. And this close to Avengers Secret Wars as well. If Avengers Secret Wars is as big as they want it to be, give it space. Give it time to clear, like Endgame did. This is a horrible release date. Horrible. Horrible title.
That was the problem with Rise of Skywalker because it came out the same year's Endgame. I remember.
Well, no, it was Solo. Solo ran into Infinity War.
Yeah, but I remember. It didn't help.
But Rise of Skywalker still made like $1.5 billion.
Yeah, but I think it was one of those like critically. I remember because it was the same year as Endgame, so like it didn't help that film at all.
Yeah, it didn't. But the thing is, Disney owns too much stuff, and they're all butting into each other now, and it's like slow the roll, Blade Raider said because May the 4th, but this is May 28th. That's not even if you're not going to release for May the 4th, don't do it in May, right? Like just push it to December at that point.
May the 4th is like a marketing thing, not a day you should release movies on.
Yeah. May the 4th is like the day you release Tales of the Underworld, like they're doing this year. Like that's perfect. Put out a little animated thing.
It's like you'll never see that. Like I don't think we're gonna see like the Mario movie sequel released on Mario Day, for example.
Yeah.
And such.
So the thing is, this movie has not started filming yet. They couldn't land a lead actress this week. There's still a lot to go. I think that what I'm hoping for is that they realize that they're making a lot of mistakes here and they need to course correct. It doesn't even matter if this movie's good or not. I think putting it that close to Avengers is just the wrong time. I think putting it out that close to Mando and Grogu is the wrong. You have to space out Star Wars more. You have to space them out more. It is ridiculous. This whole announcement just made me mad because I'm like, from a business angle, I'm looking at this. I'm like, you're insane for doing this. All of this is wrong. All of it. All right, moving on. Mandalorian and Grogu, which is fully filmed and in post-production, is coming out next year. Yeah.
And Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Yes, might as well.
Featuring new funky mode.
God, speaking of terrible titles, that's just 2 character names. That's not a title. Anyways.
Now I want to see like the 60s Batman intro, but it's Mando and Grogu running to the screen.
Yes. Okay, so Pedro Pascal was there, of course, and Sigourney Weaver, who is in the movie as an X-Wing pilot captain, which is awesome. She's in the movie. It's coming out May 22nd, 2026. They once again confirmed that Zeb from Rebels is going to be in the movie, and Sigourney Weaver is going to be there. And they also showed a.
Did they confirm Steve Bloom is reprising the role at least?
I think they did because when I was playing when I was watching the leaked trailer from like the cell phone footage, it still sounded like him. I don't think they would have recast
that's
him.
good.
There's really no reason to. And so there's like they showed a highlight reel of footage from the movie, which included like Grogu swimming and Rhoda the Hutt being a swole monster. It was wild.
My friend made a great comment. Like the first thing Fiona does when he directs a movie, bring back his ugly son,
yes.
Stinky.
Yeah, they brought back little baby Stinky from the Clone Wars movie, but now he's roided out in an arena. Yeah,
you're forgetting this. Little baby Stinky is Dave Filoni.
That's true.
He's just a little. He's a son.
When did Dave Filoni start rising to power? Usually associated with Clone Wars.
Well, that's because that was the thing he was in charge of. That George was helping guide him with. Yeah, that was their.
See.
Yeah.
See? Stinky baby returns. Dave Filoni.
Exactly.
Become a man.
That being said, speaking of movies still in development, there's still a Dave Filoni directed Star Wars movie in development. This is not it. This is the Jon Favreau directed Star Wars movie. So, keep it in mind. Blade Runner said, "Would Grogu a Mandalorian movie be a better title?" Yeah, because I tell you who's selling the tickets. All respect to Pedro Pascal and the Mandalorian, but Grogu's the moneymaker, right, guys?
Well, you see Pedro Pascal playing the wrong helmet, dude. He needs to wear the helmet, but also be evil and create his own universe. Wait a minute.
He's not the maker yet. Sigourney Weaver did sign on to this movie specifically to work with Grogu. Okay, so we know who the star is. All right. Also, I will say, in terms of terrible release dates, this movie should also be pushed to December because Pedro Pascal is going to be in this and Avengers Doomsday within like 60 days. That's
it's like who played Thanos again?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin being involved in Infinity War and Deadpool too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, where's Reed? Oh, sorry guys, I had to step out for a second. A little baby Hilly need my help.
It's gonna be Tom Holland next year as well, being in the Odyssey and in Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Falcon. Yeah, they didn't dance around the fact that Pedro Pascal hasn't put on the Mando armor since season 2. Yeah, they made a big deal about like, he was in the armor on set for the movie, and it's like, okay, that confirms that he wasn't on set for season 3 and Book of Boba Fett.
Was he doing Last of Us?
He was doing Last of Us. He was doing other things. I heard Last of Us rushed a certain thing happening so that we could go film this movie. Anyways, moving on.
So
I don't want to spoil a show I don't watch because that would be bad.
So
all right.
What are you telling me?
Yes.
Pedro Pascal truly is a tokusatsu actor. He can't make none sense. The voice him.
Yes, literally. Also, Pedro Pascal wasn't.
I'll tell you how busy this man is. He's so busy. He has to let his actor nerdy friends who actually played Last of Us explain to him the thing.
Yes.
But the problem is his actor nerdy friends actually believe Last of Us is like the greatest thing ever. So they make him always tear up when they explain the story to him.
They're not video game people. They just play games for entertainment.
They're the people who fell
well, because they're like movie people. They're looking at Last of Us from its storytelling perspectives and stuff, more so than the gameplay. Yeah. We're moving on. I'm not talking about Last of Us. All right. So, Mando and Grogu coming up. Ahsoka Season 2. So, they had a panel and they announced several things. First of all, they're going to start filming tomorrow. Dave was like, I gotta get back from Japan and we're filming Ahsoka. Dave Filoni wrote all 8 episodes of season 2. So that'll be nice because I think season 1 was a little weirdly inconsistent because they had multiple writers. I guess Filoni was just like screwing him writing the whole season.
You think that's why they're writing? Because I haven't seen Ahsoka, but like, you think that's why Ahsoka kind of felt weird?
I think it did because like Filoni wrote like I think half the season, and it was like those episodes were really locked in, and the other episodes were kind of like sometimes odd. Yeah,
because even people who like Ahsoka will agree it's not the same quality as the other, you know, of the animated verse stuff.
Yeah, it didn't have the same exact quality as Rebels. I still liked it, but I was like, we got room for improvement. This season, sounding like they're going to do a lot more. So, they confirmed Rory McCann is taking over from Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll, because Ray Stevenson sadly passed away. So they did confirm him. They did show a picture of him, but it wasn't officially released. So I didn't pull it up, but he looks the part. He's gonna fit it right in. He also knew Ray Stevenson, so that is gonna kind of help him in the performance, I think. Number 2, Admiral Akbar's back. If you guys don't know who Admiral Akbar is, first of all, shame on you.
Trap.
Second of all, yep, it's a trap. This beautiful man right here.
This guy who's supposedly one of the greatest tacticians of all time, but all we know him for is the memes.
Exactly. And
Right.
so we're going to get to see more of him because he's going to be going up against Grand Admiral Thrawn. So it's an admiral off in
It's gonna be
season
the
3.
great-
I didn't
hope
know.
to
I didn't
God.
know that was the rival fight I need to see.
I know,
I
right?
hope to God they're smart. I'm hoping to God they're smart enough to like make them actually act like it's a game of chess. Like if they can make like a visual thing where it's them in their chair acting like it's a game of chess, like you get what I'm saying? Like every move looks like a piece on the board to them.
Yeah.
I think it'll make like the most greatest like thriller kind of
No, I'm
action
imagining
drama.
now. It's B7. God, you sunk my battleship.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of great stuff they can do with this. Filoni gave a hint about his season 2 script saying, "It took all my effort to resist writing in the line, 'It's a trap.' He can't always get in a trap." Yeah, it's a carp. No, I mean, like, that was, like, amazing. They showed Loth kittens. They're like tiny little Loth cats as kittens. They talked about the Mortis gods. This is a big thing in Clone Wars that carried into Rebels. They're following into that, and they said that basically they teased that like the Ahsoka Sabine side of the story is going to be focused on the Mortis gods, on Peridia, and then like the Hera rebellion side of the story is going to be like we got to fight Thrawn with like Hera and Ezra and stuff. And they did say there's going to be more Hera this season. They said we put in more Hera, we put in more Chopper. Zeb is going to show up. Like we're really getting a Rebel sequel now.
So why is it not animated?
That's a funny story. So there actually is a reason why this is a live action show.
Oh, really?
People like to throw around like, oh, Dave Filoni just wanted to do like a live action vanity project. No, the actual truth is funnier. So this show was greenlit being a live action Ahsoka series. Okay, it was greenlit as that. And when Filoni wrote the first episode and he gave it to his wife to read, and his wife was like, "This is nice, but if you don't bring the Rebels characters back, the fans are going to hate you forever." And then he realized, oh crap, you're right. I need to rewrite this. And he rewrote it, including in Sabine and Hera and Chopper. And it wasn't a Rebel sequel originally. It was just going to be like an Ahsoka like solo thing. But he didn't reference anything that happened in Rebels. And his wife was like, hey, this is good that you wrote, but like this is not what people are looking for.
This is why you always ask your friends and partners, hey, what do you think of the script?
So for the second time in Star Wars history, the wife saved the day, because don't forget that without Marshall Lucas recutting A New Hope, we wouldn't have Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why the show's live action. Because I think if he was going to do a Rebel sequel, it would have been animated, but he just didn't think to do that. It's just like he got kind of caught up. And, like Falcon said, like, how do you continue Ahsoka's story by ignoring the Rebels? Sometimes when you're in a creative space, you just kind of think, you forget the obvious things. You like kind of get in your own head about stuff. And that's why, like we say, always talk to your friends and family.
You can already tell he forgot about Rebels as they had Ahsoka appearing in Mando. Like, it was just like, almost as if Rebels
how much
exist.
was that mandate from Disney say, like, you can't reference this for new...
No idea. Now, I will say that back then, yeah, there was some mandates. Now, Dave Filoni is the creative lead of Lucasfilm. So he kind of gets to say, he doesn't get stopped anymore now.
Because that's the thing, because, back in the, when it comes to other franchises...
He has unlimited power!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's the thing, listening to other, people work in these big fields, is that you always have those upper men that's like, oh, you can't reference this because you worry about continuity and all that stuff.
Exactly. And when the actual people that know continuity are like, no, it's not a problem. They're like, well, it could be. Like, executives always think they know better than the creatives. And sometimes they do, but not always. Blade Raider, yes, this show is set after her Mando appearances, yeah.
I'll give you a quick funny story. How can we call it Godzilla if he doesn't have his damn breath?
Yes. That's more on that coming in a future interview. Yeah. So anyways, also confirmed that since it was teased at the end of season 1, Hayden Christensen is returning as Anakin as a Force ghost in season 2. that was set up in season 1. He is going to be back in season 2.
Well, until he establish his Return to the Jedi Special Edition, you would get technical.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, he did. His little Force Ghost showed up at the end of season 1.
And Soko go, wait, ghosts can age?
Yeah. And then adding to this, they showed some concept art, and then they confirmed that yes, because we were wondering where's Zeb in season 1, and everyone was like budget. So now that the show was successful enough to get a season 2, they're like, we got the money, let's do it, let's get Zeb in here. So I imagine it's going to be like,
this is the Zed funds. Don't touch this fund. This is funds specific for Zeb.
exactly, yeah.
Wow.
So I am very excited for Ahsoka season 2. They also confirmed on the Disney Plus app that it's coming next year. They're filming it this year. They're going to release it next year. They also confirmed Chopper's going to have a giant gun. So it's just I couldn't be more excited for this show.
I know you're talking about Star Wars.
Yes,
Chopper,
I know.
But
I did this on purpose. I did this on purpose so that your brain would think of the reindeer.
I mean, hey, he has a mecha.
Yes, he does. Anyways, very excited for Ahsoka season 2. Could not be more excited about this. I think if they can stick the landing, this is sounding pretty great.
Do you see Tony Chopper packing heat?
I can. It happens in canon.
I mean, he's a sociopath.
Everything named Chopper is a sociopath, from Land Before Time to One Piece to Star Wars. Y'all know it. Y'all know it's true. They look cute, but when they start committing war crimes,
I mean, the name Chopper itself. I mean,
must be a violent name. I have not seen Land Before Time in so long. Maybe
yes. There's a baby T-Rex named Chopper. He's cute.
I think I'm back and watch this movie to see if that baby did war crimes now.
It was a carnivore living with herbivores. That's already a war crime.
What are you saying, Jerry?
I was trying to say it's a violent name, so by default, I mean,
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like Machete.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right.
The idea about Chopper too is whenever I forget how the TV show tries to explain that he now lives with them. It's like the thing that always makes me scratch my head whenever I see the TV show. I'm like,
during the TV show, his kids hanging out.
Yes, he's just there. He's like just there. He like lives there, and the law what was it, the Lost Dinosaur or whatever? He also like shows up regularly, and I'm like, oh, you left.
Oh, you're talking about Land Before Time. I know you're talking about Star Wars.
I also don't know how they live with CP10 Chopper, or whatever. I don't remember his code name. Anyways,
I hope they bring back.
We know no one wanted to really live with him. Harry was just like, he stays, and they're like,
I hope they bring back his swearing.
I mean, yeah, no, it's I know. I think I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2. All right, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past is a second season of the Rebuild the Galaxy series. First season came out last year.
Oh God, because this was the one with Darth Jar Jar, right?
This is the one with Darth Jar Jar. It's like what if Star Wars, like the whole galaxy gets rebuilt and everything's weird.
They're actually making a series. I thought
it was a series last time. It was 4 episodes. It was 4. It was kind of like a long special that was cut into 4 chunks, but it was like 4 episodes.
They always do like the yearly Star Wars Lego special. So they're actually doing this to a series. That's actually kind of cool to see.
Yeah. So basically, it was instead of a series, it was instead of a special. It was 4 episodes, and it ended on a cliffhanger. They didn't fix the galaxy at the end. So I was like, I guess they're going to do more. And so then now this year we're getting another 4 episodes.
We're getting the horrifying brick built Chewie. And Brickhead Ahsoka.
Yes.
I'm both interested and terrified at the same time.
Yeah, no, and also Ben Schwartz is voicing Jaxon, the bunny.
Oh really?
And he's not blue, so, good job breaking type.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, though, also I think Brickhead's Ahsoka is going to be voiced by Ashley Eckstein. Yeah, that's
good.
What.
I mean, it's an anime project. Why wouldn't she? Yep. Scenario?
Basically, anytime Ahsoka shows up in animation, it's usually her. Rosario Dawson's just live action Ahsoka, and I
hope she's animated like since the Brickheads have no articulation. I hope she just slides and like bobs.
Yeah. I mean, on the poster here, she's not moving at all. Like I was just love it. She just moves around like a brick.
I kind of want them to bring back for these episodes those horrifying contraction like Hero Factory Bionicle Star Wars sets.
I want like the Hero Factory Grievous to show up because he actually looked good.
Yeah.
I have that set because I was like, that actually looks great.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best sets in that line.
All right, Star Wars Visions is cooking. So we got a trailer and a release date for Volume 3 of Star Wars Visions. It's going to be October 29th, 2025. It is going to feature, I think it's 9 new shorts by different anime studios, 3 of which are going to be sequels to shorts from Visions Volume 1, which I think is really cool.
I'm not sure how I feel about that because, while it's cool to follow up on some of those, I thought that was the whole point of Visions, to be like, it's an anthology series.
The ones they're following up on are the ones they've already followed up on. So, like, they're following up on the Ronin, which already had 2 comic sequels.
Is it the black and white?
That's the black and white one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like the comic versions more. One of the other ones they're following up on is the Ninth Jedi, which was apparently really popular. And then the Ninth...
That's the production IG one. Yeah, with the girl, taking the lightsaber, right? I heard that one, I think.
So they're making a sequel to the Ninth Jedi as part of Volume 3, and then the Ninth Jedi is getting its own separate TV series. Like they're doing a separate full-length anime series for it.
I think that's cool. Like, I think my only hope for, if they're gonna do that, I hope they just go on their own. I don't want, because I think the problem with the Vision stuff is they kind of focus too much on Star Wars canon. I kind of hope.
Yeah.
Because there's no point.
Because with Visions Volume 2 felt like they didn't have any shackles, whereas Visions Volume 1, they kept kind of like getting... I felt like they kept getting held back at times.
Yeah, we must follow like Star Wars lore, where essentially that,
But I felt like Volume 2, especially because the Volume 2 was like all like European, like there was a couple African studios that were involved too. They just like kind of went nuts with it, and I like really liked Volume 2. So I'm kind of hoping Volume 3 is like, kind of like Volume 1's production staffs, but working on more
the Trigger
freedom.
Shorts, the Trigger Short for is a lot more unique than the one we got in the first one, where it's definitely just triggers for Star Wars, pretty much.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is great. I think more Visions is a good thing. I like Star Wars doing more non-canon stuff because canon is restrictive and holds things back.
I think that's the problem with current Star Wars. Is they're too that's the problem with, I think, with the fandom in general, is focus too much on the canon. Like,
and it's also one of those things that becomes frustrating because it's like, we don't have like any like material, like there's no like books or comics about like Rey, for example, because they're making a Rey movie. So they're like not allowed to make anything about something that's currently in development. It's like why we don't get any Darth Maul books or comics, and anything that we do get comics wise for Darth Maul is always stuff from before Phantom Menace, right? I was like, where's some more of the Crimson Dawn stuff? But they can't do it, and then now we're finally getting the show. It's like canon is a restrictive thing when it comes to storytelling.
This is something when it comes to the canon is like it should have like the canon be like mostly the live action, at least movies or TV shows.
It should be like Star Trek. It should be like Star Trek.
All the animation should have like some of the legend stuff and the other interlude shit between the movies and shows. Like it shouldn't just
what it is.
Be restrictive.
This is the easiest way to make canon work, and Star Trek figured this out like 20 years ago. Anything that is on-screen media, movies, TV shows, shorts, whatever, if it's live action, animated, whatever, on-screen media, that's the canon. All the books, comics, games, that's all beta canon. It doesn't have to fit. It doesn't have to work. You don't have to make a movie thing fit a book thing. You don't have to make a TV show thing fit a comic. Like, all that would be supplementary canon. And then the main canon is just the movie and TV stuff. That's what it should be, because that's what Star Trek does. And it works.
And then you get the Dragon Ball fandom where they're too snobby to be like, no, this not.
Also, like, let's not even go down that path, because that's a whole mess too. But Star Trek does it, and it's like, sometimes you have a book, and then the TV show rewrites over the book, and it's like, it's fine. That book was only beta canon, to begin with. I think that's how Star Wars should tackle it, and then that way they would have a lot more freedom, and they wouldn't be clogged.
For me, I think. For me, it's like, as long if they say it's canon, then I'm fine. If it's not canon, I don't mind. Like, stuff like IW Sonic is canon to the gameverse, and what works with those is that the stories they tell don't affect anything. Like, there's no major world ending, like change the world stuff in those comics as such. It's like that's the thing. If you always have to just clarify always when it comes to.
And Star Wars has run into this issue sometimes. Like, they adapted the Ahsoka novel, and then her lightsaber color was different, and then people lost their minds. And I was like, if the book was always beta canon, this wouldn't be an issue.
Yep.
So, All right, you guys got any thoughts on Visions? Otherwise,
I mean, it's funny you bring it up about beta canon. There's a
Yeah.
few other shows that had that same issue with beta canon where they would make the novelization around the scripts and stuff.
Yep.
So the script is like the script version of the novelization. The graphic novel version is using the original
Planet of the
original
Apes does
draft.
this too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time where canon stuff does matter to me is when you're telling a story that relies like it's my problem with say the Boom Power Rangers stuff when such as the graphic novel stories where they rely on TV show canon even though they're in their own canon.
That's
so,
the thing. The ones that rely on the TV show, exist tangentially to the TV show.
Hmm. And that's the thing is
Because-
like Star Trek, right? Like they like there was like a novel for Star Trek Discovery in season 1 that was like, let's do a flashback to like this time that happened here, and it's like Giorgio and Captain Lorca, and they're teaming up with Captain Pike because the show's never going to bring Captain Pike in, and then the show brings Captain Pike in season 2, and they're like, well, damn, they're on our novel, but the show didn't go, oh, this novel got written, so we make sure we have to reference this novel and make sure it all fits. It's like, no, they didn't worry about it. They just made their dang TV show.
Mhm.
That's kind of the way to do it. It's kind of the way to do it. All right. I think we're ready to move on from this.
Yep.
Okay, cool. New Star Wars video game announced. Star Wars Zero Company. This is going to be a single-player turn-based tactics game with customizable characters. So welcome back, Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns, yeah.
And it takes place during the Clone Wars, so maybe they knew that I would like this kind of thing in a certain thing. Yeah, Mr. Doogie, that book was good. I don't like think about it all the time. I just like it. That's the thing I think that Star Wars makes the difference is that like everybody's like worried about if it's canon or not is this a good story or not, because really that's all that matters. I'm reading I'm on a side tangent on this just slightly. I'm reading this Darth Maul novel that's like not canon
related.
but it's fun.
It's related.
It's related.
It's Star Wars still.
I was so hyped about the Maul show. I went out and bought this book at Barnes & Noble. It's called Maul Lockdown. He's stuck in a prison trying to get something for Palpatine, and he has to fight in gladiatorial arena combat every once in a while to keep alive. And it's really fun. It's not canon or whatever, because it's like Legends, but like I'm enjoying it.
Well, is it one of those scenarios where the stuff in it cannot does anything in that story make it non-canon, or is it just because it's Legends is non-canon scenario?
In the first 30 pages, nothing's made it non-canon yet. It's because it was published before Disney, so it just automatically Legends.
That's the thing. Oh, you go, Wheels.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, here's the thing with Star Wars canon. I wish, if you're gonna make it not canon, maybe not do a lot of established characters, so then people don't really have to care as hard.
Yeah.
When you do it like with Darth Talon, before she's now canon, that would make sense because it's it's kind of like Elseworlds. It's too far in the future or too far in the past. It works better because then when you start using the characters that are established, it's like, how does this fit in without you having to do... I'll give you a good example. Bleach filler was probably one of the smartest ones, where it would have a narrator said, oh, hey, here's this weird alternate story that happened.
Yeah, they always make sure to tell you. This is... Yeah,
that's the problem. That's, I think, the problem people have with these, Elseworld stories, is that they don't tell you it's that. So they think it's necessary to watch. And it could still be a good story, and you can enjoy it. But sometimes they suck. That's just the
the nature of the creative process. But I think
for me, for example, I'll forever say Cooler is canon because there's nothing saying he's not canon. For example,
it's true.
Actually, it's weird. It's weird with Cooler, even though I like him. It's because it fits in a weird spot. Because Goku doesn't know instant transmission.
Well, no. Okay, what I mean by that is Cooler, the character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cooler,
not the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing saying Cooler.
It's not like BoJack, where we all agree BoJack Unbound is a canon movie.
Cooler. The Cooler movie may not be canon because of certain things, but I used to say Cooler himself is canon because there's no evidence denying.
Exactly.
It's like it's the whole Digimon canon thing of Hurricane Touchdown isn't canon, but the events are.
Yeah.
Who was Ultraman again?
Exactly. All right, so Star Wars Zero Company is going to be set during the twilight of the Clone Wars, which, like Falcon's Tech said, they're setting up a potential Order 66 story happening during the story of the game, which could be amazing, because there's a Jedi and a clone on the team. So that could be really fun. It's going to be made by Bit Reactor. So it's going to be it's a tactics game. They had a whole trailer for it, customizable characters and stuff. Here's a look at the gameplay. I think this is really cool. I like Midnight Suns. I like the 3D sort of environment stuff, where it's like you can kind of move yourself around and like where you're located on the map is like important to how your attacks work. That makes it more interesting, I think, than like a normal grid system. So it looks really cool. But yeah, it's Bit Reactor and Respawn are putting this out, and it's coming out. I think it's coming out to like every console. I think it's coming out. Is it coming on everything? Oh, it's PC, PS5, Xbox X, S, and X. But yeah, no Switch 2 yet. But it's coming in 2026, so hopefully it's not too far away. I think it looks cool. I'm actually really interested in this because it looks like it's got a fun, and it's also nice because it's all original characters. I like that Star Wars video games are doing that more lately. That it is just like original characters for those games because makes it fun.
That could be canon or not canon, depending on how you want to choose.
Yeah, exactly. You're not like worried about where it fits in the timeline so much because it's not like Ahsoka's on the team, so it's like, oh, it has to take place between these episodes of Clone Wars. Like it's just takes place during the Clone Wars, no big deal, right? I'm sure there'll be like some notable characters will pop up, like kind of like how Saw Gerrera popped up in Jedi Fallen Order. It's just like, hey, Saw, and Forrest Whitaker's like, put me in that mocap suit. I'm never letting this character go.
There you are, Glup Shido.
Exactly. All right.
It's weird because that new character that they announced, that weird frog-looking one, I was like, holy
we'll
crap,
get there.
We got a real Shido right there.
We're going to talk about him. All right, so first up, book things. The High Republic is ending. And I mean this with all the love of the idea of the High Republic, thank God. This has not worked out the way I think they thought. If you've been reading the books, if you've been reading the novels, I've heard it's good, but the comics have been awful.
Wait, is this
High Republic is far in the past.
Is this what's that? Acolyte? Is it
Acolyte is the finale to High Republic.
Okay.
Because Acolyte's the closest to the main time, like the Acolyte's 100 years before Phantom Menace, which means it's at the end point of the High Republic, basically. The High Republic has been a really interesting publishing initiative because they've been doing a ton of novels and stuff, and people really like it. As someone that only reads the comics, I just have to stop reading the comics because they don't make any damn sense.
It is so funny how like people wanted this era for so long, and now again everybody hates it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it has fans, but I feel like the fans come from the book side of it. Because from the comic side, there's just like 1,000 characters, and I have no idea who anybody is. It's like reading Bendis Legion all over again.
Glup-Shido's everywhere.
And every phase is only like 12 issues, so it's like you barely have time to get used to a time period, and then they jump. And this is the thing, they don't jump forward in time. Phase 1 takes place after Phase 2, and Phase 3 takes place before Phase 1. And then Acolyte happens. I like it, but like I like the idea behind it more than I like the actual like execution. Also, the Young Jedi Adventure show takes place in this time period.
This is funny.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that just Star Wars in general? I like the concept, but the internet will.
Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of how, I mean, that's Acolyte, sadly.
I mean, that's also the same thing with a lot of Star Trek lately.
No, I think Star Trek's been better executed lately than
at least with Brave New Worlds,
Strange New Worlds,
more solid, yeah.
Strange New Worlds is solid. Discovery was rough at the beginning, but got solid. Picard's like the better idea than executed for most of the show. Yeah, Mr. Suzuki, that's a good point. My armchair quarterback take. Acolyte should have been the start of the High Republic, and they really shouldn't have killed off some of those characters that they wanted in another season. Yeah, murking the entire cast in Episode 5 was a choice. Also, it's been long enough at this point. If anybody hasn't seen it, too bad. Sorry.
Did they pull a Invincible with that?
They pulled a Red Wedding from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know Game of Thrones.
That was the episode where they killed off a majority of the main cast and completely changed everything.
Okay.
It was funny because it was Episode 5. It was just like X-Men 97 did the Genosha episode as Episode 5. And it was Acolyte.
It's better.
Yeah, it was much better. But also Acolyte killed more characters. Like these two. They're getting a book. It's a prequel book, which is nice because everybody was loving Yord and Jeki, and there was like fandom circles created around it, and there was like hashtags and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I watched Episode 5, and I was like, I just watched two fandoms die in front of me. Like they had buzz, they had energy, people liked the characters, they were like, what are they gonna do next? And they both get murdered in the same episode.
Are you describing characters or shipping?
What?
Because the way you describe it reminds me of a lot of shipping war stories.
I mean, it's kind of like that, but like anyways, it was cool. It was a Jedi Knight and his apprentice, and one was played by X-23, and everyone was like, "This is great," and then they died, and I was like, "Oh." Yeah, there was a lot going on there. We're getting an art book for Andor because the show's coming up this week. There's a 50 Years of Innovation book for ILM, which is pretty neat. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, I always forget exists, but they're doing a Poe Dameron story, so maybe I'll pay attention. More stuff with the Kylo Ren comic. They put Ahmed Best's Jedi character into the Jedi Knights comic, so that's pretty rad. Because Ahmed Best deserves better. He was Jar Jar, and then people hated him for it, and that was always a bummer.
Never hated that man.
He's so great. Star Wars New Hope manga is getting reprinted. Yeah.
So wait, Star Wars fans being racist again? Fork fell in kitchen, sadly.
I know.
Yeah, no, they
1999. It's been a problem that long. Yes. No, Ahmed Best is great, and they created this Jedi character, Keller and Beck. It was a game show for kids, or called Jedi Temple Adventures. And he was the game show host, and they created this character, and then they put him in the Mandalorian as the one that saves Grogu.
Did they have to find the silver monkey in that one?
I don't think so. Maybe I didn't watch it.
Legends of the Hidden Jedi Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Jedi. It kind of played like that, from what I know. But yeah, he showed up in the.
It was like a lot of the old Nickelodeon game shows. It was a mix of Legends and Guts, I think.
That makes sense.
You have it.
But yeah, he was the host of that, and his character showed up in Mandalorian as the one that saved Grogu, and now he's in a comic. And I'm like, yay! It's cool. His redemption arc. It's great. Star Wars New Hope manga is getting a book. They're doing the Timothy Zahn Star Wars Thrawn novel is getting a manga remake.
Damn, those lips on Leia and Han looks like it from those late 80s and early 90s OVAs.
It's an 80s manga.
Yep, that explains it.
The Thrawn manga, and then there's going to be a Jedi Fallen Order manga. I would like to see a Star Wars manga that's not just adapting a thing that already exists.
Battle Shonen Star Wars, ho!
Yeah, I would like an actual Star Wars manga that's new, right?
Give us transformation. Give us Shonen Star Wars transformations. I am Super Force 1. Fight me.
Funny thing about that. Quick aside.
Yes.
Did you know Toriyama entered a contest before he made Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
That contest he made a Star Wars manga. And they said, "Hey, cool manga, but you didn't read the rules. It had to be original, not copyright infringing."
Oh.
And then the editor said, "Well, you got potential, kid." And that's how he got on.
Oh, that guy's not going anywhere.
That makes sense. That's really cool, though. Gosh, Star Wars is fun when people let it be.
Well, yeah, give me a Star Wars manga where everybody uses the power of Tatakai, or whatever that fighting game was called.
Oh, shoot. I didn't look at the news close enough. I got my wish. Here's a brand new Star Wars manga with a new story called Path of the Lightsaber. It's set during the sequel trilogy.
That's cute.
It looks good. It also set during the sequel trilogy. It doesn't happen that often.
Also, there looks like a mecha dude or some cool buff alien dude up there by the looks of it.
Yeah, that looks really fun. I actually will probably check that out because it's new.
Also, woman of color, yay!
Yay! There's a new Darth Vader book called Master of Evil. There is a, I know it's like what the title.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like Legion of Doom. Like he's gonna steal 40 cakes or something like that.
Yes.
That's terrible.
There's an art book series for Doug Chang. There's I find your lack of candy disturbing. Halloween greetings from a galaxy far, far away. Those sell really well. You have no idea, guys. There's a Art of the Acolyte book coming out.
That sounds like does your mom get books like those? Sounds like such you like.
Yeah. There also is a visual guide for Acolyte coming out. Star Wars Blueprints Updated Edition. There is, what is this book? It's got Andor people in it. Oh, a Women of the Galaxy update to have more. Pages.
I know. You mean like Andor cast, but something you talk about no, there's no are you talking about the Andor cast or Ewoks?
Exactly. There also was an announcement that the Star Wars Visions one shots that were done as sequels to the Ronin, and then the Peach Momoko one shot are getting a Treasury Edition collection from Marvel Comics. So
Peach Momoko did a Star Wars Visions thing.
She did. She did a Star Wars Visions one shot, and it was it wasn't based on any of the shorts. It was like a new story that she told. And then she also did a story in Darth Vader Black, White, and Red. And so they're putting those two plus the 2 Ronin one-shots into a big old Treasury Edition paperback. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to pick that up. All right.
Just for Pete to come alone.
Yeah. So let's go straight into Star Wars Toys with Mr. Gulp Shido himself, Turg. Turg. What? Wheels? I don't know. What were you saying?
I said that she's such an interesting enigma because people in the comics industry either know who she is or pretend like she's some new up-and-comer.
She's been around for a few years now. I wouldn't call her an up-and-comer, but...
But like a lot of people still like when they talk about her, they act like she's like new, and I'm like, wait, she's been around for like 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
I think because we've been seeing her main pop up more.
I think it's because with Ultimate X-Men, she's got an ongoing now. Like everything else she did was like one shots, miniseries, and variant covers. But now with Ultimate X-Men, she's got like she's on an ongoing. So that's why her name's getting...
And that handy Marvel Rivals help boosting her.
She's doing all the designs for Marvel Rivals. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. All right.
Hey, who is this lad?
So this is a Jedi Survivor multi-pack with Turgle, Cal Kestis, and Skova Stev. So let's talk about the frog in the room. Turgle is like the most beautiful thing that happened in this game because you just meet him and it's just like he's the goofiest looking alien you've seen in Star Wars in like 10 years. And he's voiced by Richard Stephen Horvitz.
Oh, he's even better.
Oh, that's totally a glub shit-out. Don't make this guy a main character. I cannot have that go into that man's head even further.
I know. He is a glup shitto. He's a quest giver. He's not like a main character, but he's kind of fun, and they're making a figure of him, which I think is great. I will say, my first reaction was, why did Turgle get a toy before Seer Junda? And the reason why I say that is because...
You answer your own question, Soundout.
I know. Okay, but like, Seer Junda has been important for 2 damn Jedi games. She has been a main character, and she fought frickin' Darth Vader, and we got the frog before her. Also, because of my outrage, there is no Seer Junda announcement in this, presentation. So, just want to let you guys know. Like, I wasn't setting it up. They have not given me what I want, which is her. Because she's awesome.
I don't collect Star Wars Black Series stuff, especially how bad the toy line is. But
yes.
Like, I kind of love Frog Dude so much.
He really is great. So he's awesome. There's also this little guy that he knows that's in the game, also like an NPC, like quest giver guy. You get another color variant of BD1, and then the Cal Kestis has some more of the lightsaber types that were in Jedi Survivor, like the crossguard broadsword version, and then also the split lightsaber, which we hadn't seen before. And then that also can connect together to form the double-bladed lightsaber. The interesting part is he comes with white blades. And only white blades. In the game, you can have like 9-10 different colors, but he only comes with white blades. He also does come with mullet and mustache head. Because there's customizable options in the game. And this is one of them.
Which hair side did you go with?
I forget which one I did in the game. I think I gave him like the long hair. And then the full beard, like, cause like the beginning of the game, he's like supposed to have been away for a long time, and he hadn't seen everybody in a while. I was like, he's gonna just like not be like shaving his beard, and like, so I have like the long haired beard, and then I put like the scars on him. I was like, I just want this guy to look like he's had a bad time for the last 5 years.
You read too much Logan.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of a cool pack. It is an Amazon exclusive. I think it's only like $45 though, which is not bad. I thought they were gonna like upcharge it, but. Yeah. Blade Raider. Wow, we're up to whitewashing lightsabers now. It would have been nice to include like a few different blades, but he does come with like 4 hilts, and then you just swap the blades between. Falcon X said, for the price, I have 0 complaints about the set. Yeah, I think if it was like $75 or some stupid thing like that, I would have a problem with it. But at $45, like, yeah, this is pretty baller, honestly.
You're getting Glup Shido. The Glup Shido.
Yeah. I'll have to go through my old photos of my customization of Cal and see if I still have a screenshot and share it in the Discord. We're getting a new Chewbacca, and I don't mean to sound like a snob, but I literally can't tell what's different. I've been looking at it for days.
You Wookiee racist!
This looks like the same damn Chewbacca we've gotten for the last 12 years. I don't know. I'm sorry if I can't find the difference here. It looks the same to me. Apparently... It may have butterfly shoulders. I don't know. It just looks like the same toy with a new head sculpt. It could be different. I'm not going to be the authority on mold use, okay? But there is that. You're probably wondering, why are they making a new Chewbacca when the 50th anniversary is in 2 years? It's so they can repack that Chewbacca on a retro card in 2 years and sell it again.
Yep.
We're getting Dash Rendar. Good old Mr. Shadows of the Empire. Dash Rendar.
Kels, is this your territory, Kels?
Does Kels know Dash Rendar? I know somebody does.
Well, I do. I know of him, yeah.
Yes. He's getting a Black Series figure. Which is...
Well...
Isn't that cool?
I guess that'll be the first Black Series figure I get.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna pick up with him too.
He's so 90s looking. Those shoulder pads and everything.
Yeah. Okay, Falcon's Tech says for Chewbacca, deeper elbows, butterfly joints, more range in the ankles, softer plastic for the head so it can turn more. That's all good improvements. I just can't see any of it, but that sounds great. Yeah, Dash Rendar here looking all 90s and stuff, which I think is great, honestly. I want to get him. Because, you know, it's nice when they throw us a Legends bone. Speaking of Dash Rendar, we're also getting Han Solo. Han Solo looks... I want to say head sculpt wise he looks good, but I think his body's terrible. I don't want to say terrible. I just think he doesn't look good.
Is he power to force Han how rip he is?
No, it's more so the issue that, like, because he doesn't have thigh swivels, his legs just look like solid bricks, and it also just looks like he has, like, his waist just seems too low. I think that's what it is. I think the waist just seems too low for it. He also has zero ass, and they specifically made a shot to show how he has zero ass. And it's just like, damn, why'd you do Harrison Ford like that? It just, they put him in this pose, which is supposed to be like the iconic, like, poster shot of Han and the blaster, and it just doesn't look right. And I'm like, I don't know if this is the photographer not putting the effort in, or if the figure just doesn't have the articulation range. Like, I think sculpt-wise it looks better, but just articulation-wise it just looks like a downgrade.
I'm still waiting for Power to Force Muscle Han.
Yeah, they're gonna
we got that.
They're probably going to make Power of the Force Muscle Han before they make Seer Agenda.
No, what are you going to do is ask the Marvel team they could borrow the Red Hulk mold.
Yeah, that'd be funny. All right, then in the world of thank you for finally making another character from the Jedi games that's a main character, we're getting Marin. And my original complaint about Gulp Shido Frog Guy was that we were getting him before Marin and Seer. So at least I got Marin, but I'm still missing Seer.
Hey, look, Gulp Shido Frog Guy is great.
He is, but you know, the fact that Seer and Marin have been in there since the first Jedi game like a decade ago, and then Marin's finally getting a toy is nuts to me. It is her Jedi Survivor look. I thought she looked pretty good. I thought she looked like a really solid figure. I really didn't have any complaints. I was like, you know what? Good on Black Series. They made a solid looking figure. Yeah, she's got no thigh swivels. It's the usual like Black Series stuff nowadays. You know, she's got an effect part. She's got paint on the accessories. Like, great stuff. And then immediately after, it was the next reveal. They're like, here's the vintage collection one that has an alternate hand and thigh swivels. It's $8 cheaper.
That's how they get you.
I did sit for a minute and go, have I been collecting the wrong Star Wars line this entire time? Yes. Am I going to switch scales right now, sell off all my Black Series and buy vintage collection instead? No, because I don't care enough.
This is the problem. Moved us to the 6-inch line. And then they decided, no, screw the 6-inch line, and no one wants to go back now unless you're like that crazy. And
that's the thing, is that it's really annoying when they do this. With Black Chrysanthemum, they did the thing where they showed Black Chrysanthemum at one stream in Black Series, and he came with his rifle, and he was like $40, and we're like, okay, sure. And then at the next stream, they showed the vintage collection one that was $23 as a deluxe figure, and he came with the rifle and effect parts for his brass knuckles and a drink to drink and a fruit. And it was like, why is the smaller figure that's much cheaper getting more stuff than the more expensive bigger figure? It's like,
didn't you answer your own question right there?
I know, but like, what blows my mind about it is the fact that like they put out essentially the same product in two scales, except one is better. Like and you know what, the thing that does bug me,
upscaling that mold sacrifice the dice levels, you see.
That's what I don't get, right? Like, it's the same sculpt, it's pretty much the same sculpt, and yet the thigh swivels are gone on the 6-inch and not the. It used to be backwards, right?
That's what happens when you upscale a figure. You sacrifice that plastic goes to the size. There's no space for die swivels.
Yeah, and I think if the price was a little closer, it wouldn't feel as bad too. But it's like, oh, I can spend $8 less and get a better figure.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think Black Series Marin still looks really good, and I still pre-ordered her because I do want her. But the Vintage Collection one does just look better because it's just it just has one extra accessory and thigh swivels, but that does kind of give it the edge. They also announced the Stormtrooper with a rocket launcher. That's all the thoughts I got on that.
Boost the AC with new hat.
Here's a fun one. They made Moff Gideon in his Mando armor, which the Black Series one just came out, so here's the Vintage Collection. Articulation-wise, they look the same, but he has the correct Electro Staff where the Black Series one didn't. So, yeah. That feels fun, doesn't it? Now, to complain about Vintage Collection, on the opposite side, we finally got a second Bad Batch member after 5 years.
5 years?
They have made, ever since the show premiered, in the time...
are you talking about Bad Batch version or the Clone Wars season?
I mean, of the Bad Batch themselves, Vintage Collection, since the premiere happened, the only time Vintage Collection made a Bad Batch member, it was Hunter. And they made nobody else. Black Series did all of the Bad Batch twice, but Vintage Collection only made Hunter. And only now are they making Crosshairs 3 years later.
Jeez.
And this is the scary part. There's been like 10 Bad Batch figures in Vintage Collection, but they were like variants of Rex or variants of Troopers or stuff like that. But the actual core Bad Batch has been missing from Vintage Collection pretty much the entire time they've existed.
The thing that the show's named after?
Yes. The actual title characters have not been made in Vintage Collection. This is only the second one. And it's coming 3 years after the other one. And it's just kind of bonkers to me. Like, we double up frickin' Cobb Vanth in his like 5-minute appearance in Book of Boba Fett. He's in both scales, no problem, back to back pretty much. Like, it's done. But it takes like years to get the Bad Batch in Vintage Collection.
And people say Lightning Fletch was bad.
Yeah, I know. Also adding to this, Vintage Collection continues to stun with its bonus things. Here's a Bantha with the Tusken Raider. It's like $70, but it's all fur, which is kind of fun.
Evolved Treble.
Is it Evolved Treble? Yes. And then they there's some pictures of the Ronin and droid set that we already talked about. There was a Clone Trooper helmet. The best announcement, though, was this customizable lightsaber for the Blade Builders line that comes with 9 crystals and lets you customize the color of the blade and also the color of what the blade flashes when you hit things with it.
A budget friendly version of the Disney Park stuff then?
Yeah, basically that's what it is. And in a way it actually is more customizable than the Disney Parks one because you can customize for example, here's a purple lightsaber. It's a purple lightsaber color, but then you put the orange crystal in so that way when you hit things with it, it glows orange.
That's actually really cool.
And you can see it in the thing. And it comes with a chart to explain like what the crystals' meanings are. And on top of that, it comes with a black and an orange, which are 2 crystal colors you can't get at Galaxy's Edge.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And the cool part, too, is it's like $45 for this whole kit.
Wait, all the crystals?
With all the crystals. It comes with all the crystals. Comes with lightsaber, so it's got 7 colors for crystals. And it's not like, it's customizable in the sense that it can work with all of the Blade Builder style stuff. And it's $45.
Man, that's actually tempting. Honestly, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I might actually pick it up because I'm like, that's a cool toy, and it's not like too expensive. Yeah, LPH, I think you can make a red and black. There's a red and black crystal. It's just you pick your blade color and you pick your clash color, and you can do either color on them. So I'm impressed. That's like super cool.
What is this? Hasbro making a good toy for kids? What's going on here?
Sorry, Blade Raider's comment sent me. Yes, Hasbro making a good toy for kids. What a surprise. Blade Raider said, "Why is the blade so veiny?" And now I can't unsee it. It's because it's supposed to be like the powering up effect, right? But yeah, no, it is.
So again, a good kids toy. What's going on here?
I know, right? Yeah, their lightsaber line's been pretty cool for a few years, but I think that's like the coolest one yet. So yeah, that was all the Star Wars toys announced. I think we went through all of them, right? I went them out of order so I could complain, but there we go. I thought overall Star Wars Celebration, pretty solid event. Lots of great news. Got me excited about Star Wars stuff. I still think that Starfighter movie is a massive mistake, but they have time to pivot, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I turned the overlay off.
Remember when -1 is gonna be a bad movie, right, Sam? Remember that one? Remember
I
that
remember
time?
that. I mean, it's always like we don't know until it comes out. But
Mhm.
I do know. That's why I think I didn't say anything about the quality of the movie for Starfighter, right? Because I have no idea how the movie is itself. I just think the release date, the title, the lead. I mean, again, I don't have anything against Ryan Gosling. It's just like get somebody else in there to sell the tickets, right? But I think that overall, like
Robin Downey gets recast against a new Darth Vader, a whole new year's Darth Vader.
I mean something. I mean, just get somebody popular in there, and we're good.
Jack was already in Star Wars. Damn it.
Yeah. Let's wrap up though, because I think we're done for the week. So,
Ghost, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I hope I'm not muted. Okay, no, I'm not.
No, we can hear you.
We were gonna play Fatal Fury, but we all decided not to. Instead of KOF, I'm gonna do something special. I'm gonna play 2 retro games. Well, no, they're actually not retro. Retro style, maybe. Soundout shows up anyways because it's a lot of time to talk. Ninja Warriors or Ninja Saviors. Return of the Ninja Warriors, something like that. It's a remake of Ninja Saviors. That's an old game by Taito, and also Streets of Rage 4. Just to go back to some games that I actually know how to play.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And that'll be at twitch.tv/fightercouse tomorrow at 4.
4.
Yeah.
Eastern.
4 Eastern. Cool. Wheels,
what's our site?
Hero-Club.com. Follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. Check out all of our interviews so far. We have more on the way.
Yeah. Ryan, your stuff's in the description of the video, so everybody will look
follow me at Dark Horse 64 on Blue Sky or YouTube. Do our commissions like you want to use this very channel. Feel free to DM me on Blue Sky or DM me on Discord and through Sound Discord protocol. Link in the description below.
And you can check out videos this week. Ultraman Z Blu-ray. It's gonna be Wednesday. That'll be fun.
Let's say what's coming out this week besides who's that?
Let's see if my notes app doesn't crash. Oh, I didn't plan this week out yet. There'll be stuff. There may not be a short tomorrow. My voice sounds awful, so it's maybe something different. But there'll be stuff this week. I have a list of video ideas, and it's just something will come up on Friday. But see you guys next week for another stream. And that was my outro, and I didn't outro. Goodbye.